Welcome back to this special edition of the Ford Lines Report, live from the incredible Ford Field. I'm Hugh Perkins, along with Fox 2 Sports reporter Jennifer Hammond, Fox 2 Sports director Dan Miller, joined now by Chris Spielman, who spent 8 years working hard for the Lions in the Silverdome. And Chris, when you see this new stadium, do you think you retired too early?
You know what? I'm looking at this field, and it's got an outdoor field. Yes, I did retire too early after today, but after a game and the feeling these guys feel the pain, I think, oh, maybe I made the right decision.
What do you think they felt when they walked in here today and saw the fans in here and looked at this field?
I just think that it makes you feel special. Like, how do I deserve to play in something like this? And the Silverdome was great when I played there. I'm not saying anything bad about that. But this is state-of-the-art. It has an outdoor feel, which I think is unique. You're inside, but I'm standing there talking to Millen, thinking, man, I feel like I'm outside getting ready to play a football game.
We're going to talk to Matt Millen, too, in just a moment. This is actually the second time that the players have had a chance to see the inside of Ford Field. The first time was on Thursday, and our cameras were rolling when they walked through the doors.
Unbelievable. I think the fans are going to really like the seating in it. There's really nosebleeds in here. I don't know, I haven't been up top yet, so. But just amazing how they use the Hudson in here. Got the atrium out front, the field itself. Just, it is absolutely amazing.
It's overwhelming. I mean, you can't even put it into words to know that, this is where you're going to play. This is your home. This is where your fans are going to come to support you and everything like that. And I don't know. It's amazing. They did a great job here.
I haven't played anything in the National Football League just like it. It's unique to itself, so it's going to be fun playing it.
It's unbelievable. I mean, it really is. It's kind of awe-inspiring. You step in here, and it's a massive structure, but the way they detailed it with some of the brick and some of the things, can a football player say it's beautiful? I mean, I'm a kicker, I can say that.
A lot of teams are coming here being kind of in awe because this is a pretty awesome, untraditional stadium, I guess, and that's the cool part about it.
How can you not get pumped to play football, when you walk into a place like this? I can't wait to kick off on Saturday.
And you can see right there, this place got rave reviews from the players, and now we'll welcome in the Lions president and CEO, Matt Millen. And Matt, it seems all the people you talk to around the league say this is probably the finest structure in the NFL right now. Why are people saying that? What stands out about Ford Field?
Well, I think the biggest thing is it has a feel. And Chris and I were speaking just a little bit prior to coming on here, and he probably nailed it the best. It makes you feel like you're outside and you're inside. Has a great feel to the place. Now, what we need to have happen is we need this place to become like a good pair of jeans and make it fit right, And then when that happens and the fans feel the same thing that we feel, we get a couple of wins under our belt, we'll get this thing rolling.
Man, how important is it for a football team to have the home field advantage as far as crowd noise? And is it a 7-point swing in your mind?
Well, I don't know what the point differential is. All I know is when you have to have it, it's there. And that's what we have to have. And that's what I'm talking about. When it fits, when everything starts to fit right, that's a big advantage for us. Having the home field advantage, having an educated crowd, this is a great football town.
All right, nobody knows how close this team is better than you and Marty. You guys sit down, you pour over this thing, you know where you need to get better, you know where you needed to improve after last year. How close, everything you're talking about, how close is it to happening?
That's such a hard question because I don't know. I can only go back. Let's go back to answer that. Let's go back and look at it. New England a year ago or the Rams 4 years ago or any of the teams that has won it the last few years, you'd have said there's no way that they're going to close the gap that fast because the league has changed so much. Now, that being said, today is a great barometer for us. This is a physical team. This is a well-coached team. This is a team that's played well for 2 preseason games, and they have some confidence going in, thinking that they believe they have a chance to run this whole thing. I'm curious to watch our defensive front early. I want them to be physical. And I'm curious to watch our offensive line because if you remember the first game against Baltimore, they got that 34 scheme with a lot of different looks and blitzes.
Right.
Let's see if we got better.
Matt, a couple of your free agent acquisitions, which guys have stood out in your mind?
Safeties, not even close. Our safeties have solidified us behind and given us some speed. And I also believe that with Schrader and Azakim, you're going to see some speed on the offensive side of the ball. I still want to watch Ray Brown inside today, Dominic Raiola inside today. We need to solidify our offensive line. If we can get that thing done, then I'll feel a little bit better.
Matt, final question. You know the hot topic around town is the quarterbacks. It doesn't matter what NFL city you're in. That's what people talk about. How much in your mind, Marty says that Mike is the man right now,
right,
but how much is he being pushed by Joey Harrington?
Oh, he's being pushed a lot, but there's so many things that you don't see. For example, the other night when Joey Harrington comes into the game, you're throwing against seconds and you're throwing against mostly all field zone drops, which went out in about like 1985. So he's not going to get a lot of that. Yeah, exactly. So you're not going to get a lot of that. But the kid sees things fast. He's a nice arm, and he's accurate. McMahon has a lot of his own qualities that puts him in a position right now. Plus, he has an understanding of where he is in the system. So this whole thing will play itself out. That's the least of my concerns.
Well, it's nice to have a problem when two guys are playing well. That's the key. Matt, always great to see you. Thanks a lot.
Have a
good luck today. This is going to be a lot of fun. All right, that's going to do it for Chris and myself. We're going to head up to the booth. You know where those things are, right?
I used to.
You used to. We're going to get out of here. There's much more to come. We're giving you an up-close look at Ford Field as the Lions get set to take on the Steelers. So stay with us.
There's plenty of surprises for the fans here at Ford Field. I'm Woody Woodruff, and we'll get the lowdown on Detroit's brand new football experience coming up.
Welcome back to this special Ford Field Report, Ford Lions Report Special Edition. I'm Jennifer Hammond with Huell Perkins, and of course, as we look around the 1.8 million square feet that is Ford Field, everyone thinks it's absolutely spectacular, and it doesn't take long to figure out why, Huell.
It's incredible. Like here, the fans are excited. They're standing up. Many of them have come into this Ford Field for the first time, taken 30 minutes just to walk around, to look around, to get the lay of the land, and they are so impressed. I also had a chance to run into Fox 2's Fanton Singer outside the stadium. She told me that there's an excitement in the city that is just incredible. She hasn't seen anything like it in a long time.
Yeah, there is a real buzz among the fans who come in here to see it for the very first time, and as well for a man who has been here for a long, long time watching it building from the ground up, and that is Tom Lawand, and he's with our Woody Woodruff.
Thanks a lot, Jennifer. As you said, I'm here with Tom Lawand, Chief Operating Officer of Lions Properties and Team Vice President. Tom, first off, how proud are you? This is your baby here.
Well, I'm excited about the fact that the fans get to come in today and see it. It's really the Ford family's baby. I just got to change a couple diapers.
You know, the numbers in this place are awesome. Let's take a look at some of that right now. $500 million to get this place started. 32 months, over 64,000 seats. Talk about how that's a big difference from the Silverdome's 80,000. I know it's less, but it should be more as far as a fan experience.
No question. I think that means we can have shorter rows, wider concourses, give the fans a better experience, get them all in here, get them in packed tight, get them loud, get them sold out, so every game's on TV. We can watch them on Fox too if you can't get here.
We talk also about over 8,000 club seats out here. What is the difference at the club seat level from the regular seat level?
Well, there's just a different experience. We wanted to make sure that at every level, whether it's coming in and getting a good hot dog and a cold beer, or the high-end restaurant quality food that's available on our club level, that we cater to everybody's taste.
95 concession stands out here, 9 ATMs, so you'll never go broke, Tom. You know, it's truly a fan experience. Today is a test run, and so far, have there been any major problems?
No, we're in great shape. So far, so good. Hopefully the fans are enjoying themselves, and we'll look forward to a great afternoon.
What about the early reviews you've gotten from Bill Ford Jr.? I saw you talking to him earlier today. He's on the field, smiles everywhere. What has he said to you?
Let me tell you, there's nothing better than the reaction from the Ford family. They deserve a great building. They deserve a great team. Our fans deserve a great team, but we have the best ownership in sports, period. And I'm glad we were able to pull it off for them.
Finally, Tom, you know, there's been a lot of talk about the visitors' locker room. It's an extra 2-minute walk, and with halftime being knocked down from 15 minutes to 12, actually it's only 8 minutes in the locker room now.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened. It's one of those design flaws. I don't know. And you know, really, if they have a few minutes less to make some halftime adjustments, then Well, that's just a shame.
Tom Lewan, thanks a lot, Chief Operations Officer of Lions Properties and Team Vice President. We will have much more from down here, and don't miss it, because coming up later, I'll be talking with the guru of the field turf, or one of them, so don't miss it. Back to you guys.
All right, Woody, thank you. Just an absolutely wonderful job here. Tom and his crew have done a wonderful job. There's so many volunteers here, too, to help guide you to where you need to go and what you need to see. It's a wonderful experience.
And absolutely, one of those volunteers is outside, Melanie Brooks, and she's got the lowdown on parking at Ford Field.
Well, as we're enjoying this opening day here at Ford Field for the preseason game, we want to tell you about the parking situation, and basically no problems at all. Here in downtown Detroit, you have a lot of options. Right next to the stadium, this lot is reserved for suite holders only, but we have some great suggestions for you in other areas of the city. Take a look at these maps and take note. Here are some suggestions. There are 10 parking lots in this area behind the Fox and State Theaters. Plenty of options for you there. Also, another suggestion for you, 4 lots near Cobo Center. And you can get on the People Mover. That's a nice bonus. Plus, over in Greektown, if you want to do a little celebrating right before the game, you have 3 parking lots. And again, you can get on the People Mover to get over to the stadium. A very exciting day here at Ford Field for this preseason game. Some good parking options for you. Right now, we're going to send it back to Huel and Jen.
All right, Melanie, thank you. In just a few minutes right here, we're going to talk to the man who spearheaded this new Ford Field. It's named after his family, and we're going to talk with him live right here in a few minutes. Stay with us. Much more to come. Welcome back to the Ford Lions Report, a live special edition coming to you from Ford Field. With us right now is the great-grandson of Henry Ford, the man who spearheaded this project. William Clay Ford Jr., you have got to be a happy man today.
I'm not sure happy quite captures it. I mean, this is thrilling. And you know, Huel, sometimes things exceed your expectations, and this is certainly one of those times.
Can anybody here exhale yet, or is it kind of a work in progress? You wait till the fans get in, you get a few games under your belt.
Well, Jennifer, I think, you know, realistically, we're going to be shaking this place out, you know, this weekend on Thursday. But I'm amazed at how well it's gone so far.
I was amazed, too. A few minutes ago, I had a chance to see Mr. Ford Jr. come in here with his family, and I think he was more excited than the kids were.
Oh, there's no question. I mean, you know, this has been years in the making, and there were a lot of naysayers who said it couldn't happen and said that we were crazy to even think about coming to downtown Detroit. I had a couple of prominent businessmen tell me that it would be the worst mistake of my life and that we would never get the stadium built.
Well, take us on that timeline. I know that this all started with a phone call you made to Wayne County Executive Ed McNamara a few years ago.
Well, that's true, and we followed it up with a lunch with he and Mike Duggan, and I laid this idea on the table, and they looked at me like I was crazy. And then I met with Dennis Archer shortly thereafter. Dennis was quite encouraging, and so we got together, and you recall at the time, the county and the city weren't working well together, and this was really the first project that brought them together. And so in many ways, you know, there are a lot of firsts here in this stadium. It was a tough process. We had to get city and county approval, voter approval. We had to pull together the city, the county, the Tigers, ourselves. But you know, I must say, at every step along the way, people were wonderful, and they wanted it to happen, and here we are.
What is it like for you to first walk in here this morning? And I know, for me, just taking a quick lap around, you see all of the fans standing up and pointing and looking around. That's got to be an amazing thing to know that you've given this to so many people in Detroit.
Well, Jennifer, you know, with the reason I'm so hot and looked like I just played the game was that I was just out with the fans, and I was walking around the concourses, and you know, I thought I was going to get killed. People were, you know, slapping me on the back, high-fiving me, and it was wonderful because, you know, I think everybody's thrilled to have this facility. I think more importantly, it's where it is, and the streets are alive. You walk outside the stadium, and by the way the stadium's set up, it feels like the city and the stadium are one seamless area. This is not a self-enclosed entity. This is a really inviting. And it's great to see the streets alive on a Sunday, Saturday, I guess we are now, but you know, on a weekend day. I look forward to the season because we're going to have lots more of it.
Well, congratulations to you for it.
I thought it was also incredible, too. You know, usually the cheers are meant for the players, but when William Clay Ford Jr. walked down on this field, it was amazing. People were standing and cheering.
And signing autographs.
Well, wait till we throw the first interception goal, and the cheers will be, hey, come on, Ford, can't you sign somebody? But I'll take it for now because it really, there's nothing like this place in the NFL. In fact, there's really nothing like it any place in the country, and there can't be because no place else has a historic structure like the Hudson's Warehouse as part of the fabric of the stadium.
Well, as a native Detroiter, I'm happy to see it. And when downtown bustles, I think everybody gets a great sense of pride.
I agree with that. Now we just have to put a few wins together, and everyone will be thrilled.
All right. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you guys very much. Thanks for having me.
Well, that was great. Of course, when you come down to Ford Field, a lot of people will love the restaurants here. They've got about 50 or so permanent restaurants, 39 carousels. But a lot of people also like the old tradition of tailgating. The hot dogs, the hamburgers, the beer. The rules have changed now that Ford Field is in place.
Yep, and we've got folks outside keeping an eye on all of those spots where you can do some old-fashioned Lions football tailgating.
We are having a great time celebrating the opening of Ford Field here in Detroit. It is a great day for the Motor City, and it's a great time to do some tailgating right before the game. Tell me what you have here and how excited you are.
We got some Italian sausage, we got some brats going, we got the beer, everything. Everybody's hanging out. Having some fun. We're all here.
Ready to celebrate a great season for the Lions.
Oh yeah, I'm telling you, defense is going to lead the way. We're going to stuff every team. Chris Claiborne, man, he is the man. That's right.
Very good, very good. Now, going back a little bit more to some dining, what do we have here?
I got some New York strips that I've seasoned, some pasta with olive oil, basil, and garlic.
Spare no expense for our wonderful Lions.
Never go cheap on a tailgate party. This is what it's all about.
Tell me, how exciting is this for the city of Detroit?
Ford Field, it's exciting for the city of Detroit. It's exciting for Lions fans everywhere. It's a beautiful building. We're going to have a good year.
All right, very good. Thank you so much, Paul, for allowing us to be a part of your very, very elite breakfast here this morning.
Go Lions!
Go all the food and the festivities. We're going to send it to Lee Thomas. He is enjoying the inside. Lee, what's going on there?
Melanie, this is the Latin strawberry cream tart. Are you hungry? Are you hungry for some football, perhaps? Well, we've got it all right here. There's a multitude of restaurants. You can see right over my shoulder. It's called Bobian Brothers, and they handle sweets to eat if you're so hungry. Now, let's talk about Adams Street, where I'm standing right now. Thank you very much. Someone will enjoy that tort. Now, where I'm standing right now is just a walkway with a multitude of restaurants. This is Adams Street, but there's one on either side of the field. Right here you see a Big Boy where you can get everything that Big Boy usually serves. But come over here, right here to what's called Street Eats of Detroit. And my man right here already got himself a brat. What do you think?
I think, well, pretty good Brock, pretty good Pepsi. Glad I'm here.
Yeah.
Glad I'm meeting you.
Yeah.
Really good day.
It's a good day. This is an awesome stadium, isn't it?
It sure is.
All right, you guys, if you're hungry, it is called Adams Street. There's over 95 different restaurants in Adams Street and on the other side of the stadium. This is a spectacular place to be, and I hope we win this game. But I am so hungry. So that's it from here for now. I am Lee Thomas. Back to you.
Well, Lee, win or lose, you're going to have a great time here. You're going to have all you can eat and all you can drink, too.
Yep, and there's a lot to see, including a beautiful new club level here at Ford Field. Absolutely state-of-the-art, beautiful suites and seats. We're going to give you a tour of all of that as you see Bill Ford Jr. making his rounds, signing some autographs. And there is the club level of beautiful Ford Field. More coming up after the break.
Welcome back to this live special edition of the Ford Lions Report. We are at the incredible new fabulous Ford Field. Joel Perkins, Jennifer Hammond here from Fox 2. You see here the crowd here at the stadium, and we have some old friends stopping by to say hello.
Yes, we do. We have some special guests from Big Boy. We have Bob Liggett and as well Tony Michaels. You guys have been associated with Big Boy, and you've watched this building go from the ground up. In the 18 months, Bob, that you've been with Big Boy, you've really hit the ground running.
Absolutely. It's been a lot of fun watching the rebirth of this organization and the Lions and this location. We're doing the same thing in Big Boy. We're opening new stores, new concepts. And in 18 months since we got together with the Ford Field and the Lions, we've been growing and we've had a great time too. So we feel like we're all kind of growing up together here.
Now, I know that they have 95 concession stands, if you can believe that, here at Ford Field. It's a huge building, 1.8 million square feet. How does Big Boy fit into the picture, Tony, and what are people going to see here that might be a little bit different?
Well, we have a Big Boy original fast food stand at the 40-yard line on Adams Street, which is real exciting. Big Boy Slim Jims, Big Boy ice cream shakes. The other part of our relationship with the Lions is we're helping the Levy organization with the hiring of the volunteer groups, cash management, food safety. So it's been a great relationship. And, you know, as Bob mentioned, Ford and Big Boy are Detroit. I mean, it's a big thing.
Detroit Originals. And when you talk about the volunteers, I've got to imagine from the moment we walked in here yesterday, all of the people who even work here seem to have this glow of pride on their faces looking at this new facility.
Absolutely. We're instilling that at Big Boy and trying to rebuild that feeling and image again. And, of course, it's all over here, too.
All right. Well, Bob and Tony, thank you for joining us and stopping by. Enjoy the game today.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. You know, building this stadium took a lot of hard work, blood, sweat, and in one sad case, it also took a life, tragically. Gang Gojai helped to paint the ceiling that you see here at Ford Field. He was only 42, the father of 5 kids. He died in a tragic accident right here in July. He is not forgotten, though. The Ford family, the Ford Field, remembering his sacrifice and his contribution to this wonderful stadium. They plan to hold a tribute in his honor. They've opened a scholarship fund for his children. And at some point in September, they are also going to hold a special event to honor all the hundreds of men and women who toiled around the clock to turn this vision into reality, Ford Field. So we just want to say that. We'll be back in a moment with more right here from Ford Field as we honor Detroit's newest jewel. You're watching the Ford Lions Report live right here on Fox 2. Back in a moment with more.
Ford Lions Report from the beautiful brand spanking new Ford Field. You are looking at the Charlie Sanders Barbecue, just one of the 95 concession stands here at Ford Field, and a lot of them, of course, with former Lions in mind, such as that one as well. Joe Schmidt's got a place upstairs, also Herman Moore, and number 20's Pizza and Beer. So there is a lot to eat, drink, and see here at Ford Field, you all.
Good to see how the Lions are taking care of their old teammates. And we also know that right here in Ford Field, the beer travels through 34 miles of tubing to the various concession stands.
Yep, to get up to all of the bars, and of course on the club level, they've got a lot of them. Our Lee Thomas is there with a closer look.
Talk about luxury, talk about amenity. We are in one of the most luxurious club suites. Take a look, these are the seats. Every seat is a good seat. You can see the entire field from here, plus the big screen, or you can sit here and enjoy a drink like it's a bar. Boom, have your drink here and still see the entire game. But it gets even better, folks. Come over here. This is where they'll have the buffet lined up. You can get your food, you can get your drinks. I hear they serve things from shrimp all the way to brats right here. You can enjoy yourself. But hey, maybe you're waiting for a friend. Well, walk over here to the rail because we are right at the entrance that's next to Comerica Park. Looking right down there. Hey, buddy, we're up here in the club suite. Come on up, buddy. All right, we're going to have a good time here at the game, buddy. They can take the escalators right up here to the club suite. This is exclusive. This is luxurious. This is as good as it gets. And finally, I'll show you guys my favorite seat in the entire place. Say perhaps the game's going on, but you have to go. Oh, man, the game's going on, but I got to go. I got to go to the bathroom. I got to go to the bathroom. But follow me. There's a bathroom right here. And you can almost sit right here in the throne, the favorite seat, the best seat, and you can still see the field from here. I am in the club suites. There's 132, but I think I found my favorite. So, Vic Skelly, my cameraman, close the door, buddy. I'll see you guys in a bit. That's it from here.
Oh, that is unbelievable. And actually, to the public, open to the public, there are 105 restrooms, 49 for the women, 43 for the men, and 13 family-style restrooms.
So no matter where you are in this Ford Field, you feel comfortable. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
When you got to go, you can go. We're going to get down to the real nitty-gritty right here. This is a key component of the new field turf that you see in Ford Field. Actually, you can barely see it in the grass here, but it is an amazing new material, state-of-the-art.
Yep, granules of rubber and sand. And the players, if you wonder what they wear on their feet for this, Huel, it's just a standard grass cleat, a half-inch cleat. And that's what they're going to wear, just like they would outdoors at Soldier Field. But for more on the field, we've got Woody Woodruff, and he's got some very special guests.
Thanks a lot, Jennifer. I'm here with Charlie Coffin, the head groundskeeper. And Charlie, we talked a little bit about the turf. Exactly what is it?
It's basically just synthetic fibers that stand up, that are top dressed with sand and rubber, and it's about 2 inches of fibers that's top dressed up to about 1 3/4 inches.
You know, let's take a look down here and see some of this. How will it behave? You say it behaves different than grass.
Well, what will happen is that it has a give to it, and when your foot gets planted into this stuff, it has a better reaction of giving away, unlike the traditional AstroTurf, where your foot will stick and you'll get more injuries that way.
Now, we've talked about these rubber granules. What is in here? The mix with sand, I believe?
Yes, there is about 30,000 recycled tires that are in this turf here, along with about 4,000 recycled Nike tennis shoes and silica sand. It's just top dressed right into the top of the actual fibers itself.
Now, football's not the only thing going to be in Ford Field. I mean, there'll be concerts. What about conversion here? Easy, not easy?
Well, it's going to be, we're going to have a heavy mill plastic that's going to be rolled over the top of it. What we're concerned about is actual stuff getting contaminated into the rubber itself and the fibers. What we'll do is we'll take a heavy mill plastic, roll it out on the field with 2 layers of plywood, one running one way and the other one's running the other way, like that.
All right, well, hopefully we will see that happen, and we'll also see some football today. Hopefully no injuries out here, right? Exactly. Hey, listen, there's much more coming up on the Ford Lions Report. I'll send it back to Huel and Jennifer.
All right, Woody, thank you. The Ford Field people have it the best of both worlds right now. Supposedly grass you don't have to cut, and round that doesn't hurt you as much when you fall down.
And certainly the Lions are very familiar with this turf. They've been playing on it since April when they started practicing in their brand new practice facility in Allen Park. We're going to take you inside the Allen Park practice facility coming up after the break. Welcome back to this Ford Lions Report. Ford Field special. There you see it, a look at the team store. Everything from golf balls to putters. As well, you've got the foam paws and also some number 3 jerseys I also saw when we walked by there yesterday. They got a lot of great stuff. And with a $500 million price tag on their new beautiful stadium, I'm sure you can find something much more affordable inside the team store, Huel.
They're putting a lot of money and a lot of faith into this project. They're spending a lot of money in terms of where the Lions play, but they've also spent a lot of money in terms of where the Lions practice.
Yeah, and certainly I think it's the kind of thing that may draw some new players to Detroit. We've already seen it in the offseason. Bill Schrader, Azakim, and now Ray Brown choosing to come here to Detroit. A lot of it because of Ford Field and also because they've got some shiny new practice grounds in Allen Park. Ryan Field takes a look.
The Lions think they've taken a step towards the ladder with their facilities here at Allen Park. You don't believe me? Come on, let's go inside for a look.
From the moment you walk in to the moment you step outside, the training facility at Allen Park bleeds one thing: Honolulu blue. The Lions' new $35.5 million headquarters is rivaled by no other in the NFL. The 460,000 square foot complex has all the comforts of home, from the state-of-the-art workout room to a cafeteria that serves 3 square meals a day. Oh yeah, and if the players want to work on their golf game, they can take swings on the standard par 3 hole out back. It's not all fun and games, though. Players will spend most of their time on the full-size indoor practice field, which, like Ford Field, has the field turf, a popular synthetic grass acclaimed as the best and safest on the market. For those nagging injuries, players can get a little hydrotherapy in one of the 4 pools, one of which even has an underwater treadmill. Yes, with all the amenities, the ultimate goal of the new training and practice facility is to provide a winning atmosphere, one that will hopefully translate into victory on Sundays. For the Ford Lions Report, I'm Ryan Field.
Jennifer, you've been there. That looks like an incredible facility.
It is absolutely beautiful. And I will tell you, one of the things about that place is that everywhere you go, at every turn, from the press room to the parking lot and indoors to the practice field, everything is state-of-the-art, a lot like Ford Field.
But the bottom line is, you've heard the expression, if you build it, they will come. The question is, if you build it, will they win?
And if you keep on winning, they'll keep on coming. But I get the feeling that these first few years at Ford Field are going to be absolutely glorious.
You can certainly feel the spirit of the air. We'll have much more of the Ford Lions Report live from Ford Field right after this. Stay with us, everybody.
And welcome back. And as the Lions leap into their new home on this Ford Field special Ford Lions Report, you see shots from November 16th, 1999. Mayor Dennis Archer at McNamara as they broke ground in the Hudson's warehouse along with Bill Ford Jr. It was merely the beginning, the first brick laid, and today they finally show off their $500 million centerpiece to the city of Detroit and the 65,000 Lions fans who seemingly have already found their seats, Huel. It's a great time.
What a wonderful early Christmas present, and a lot needs to be said, too, about the teamwork between outgoing Wayne County Executive Ed McNamara and former Mayor of Detroit, Dennis Archer. They worked hand in hand with William Clay Ford Jr., the entire Ford organization, to get this thing done, to get it accomplished, and to see this miracle in Detroit that we see here today. A lot of teamwork involved here, too. We have also seen today, in addition to the wonderful fans here, a lot of old friends coming back to say hello. Charlie Batch, old quarterback for the Lions, was also here. I had a chance to talk with him on the field a few minutes ago, and he says he, too, is proud of this new stadium, happy to be back in Detroit, and he has a gift for Detroiters. He wants them to see something today that maybe they didn't see when he was here with the Lions.
Well, it is a fitting way to send the Lions into their new home, and also a fitting way to send off our special Ford Lions report this morning. We go up to the broadcast booth for Dan Miller and Chris Spielman, who are going to take you through the game from the opening kickoff. Guys?
We've seen the practice facility. We have taken people all over Ford Field, but you played this game in the NFL. What does all this mean to a football player?
Well, I think the one thing, the big thing it means is for the future of the franchise is that the Ford family is committed to winning. Anytime you can put together a practice facility like they have at Allen Park, it's just outstanding. That will help with free agency now, because free agent stands like recruiting. You got to lure these guys to come here, and that facility is just outstanding. And I'm looking at this field here, and I'm still in awe. I got here at 7:15 this morning.
I'm not sure.
To go ahead and check out what
That's
this is and how good this is. And it's just outstanding. It's wonderful. It's something that I think the fans of Lions deserve. And it's something, hopefully, that the players will earn. And they need to do that by winning football games.
All right, we're going to talk football coming up the broadcast in just 1 minute. One-word answer when it comes to winning a football game. They have to win today, don't they?
Well, I think it's essential. You got a new building and a new team, a new attitude. And when you have this type of facility and you're 2-14, you need to come back with a win.
See his eyes, folks? He still gets fired up when he talks about winning.
I do.
We're going to be right back up at the broadcast booth in a couple of minutes for the game. Right now, we'll send it back to you guys on the field.
All right, Dan and Chris, thank you right now. You hear some boos in the stands right now. The Pittsburgh Steelers have just walked onto the field, and they are being introduced right now.
Well, they were a 13-3 team last year, Huel, and I think Detroit would love to hate them. They certainly would also love to be in their shoes. We're going to wrap it up coming back after the break. Stick around. The Ford Lions Report is not done yet.
The Ford Lions Report Ford Field Special has been brought to you by your 31 Metro Detroit Ford dealers. Think Ford first. By America Online. So easy to use, no wonder it's #1. There's never been a better time to get online. And by Pepsi, the joy of Pepsi.
And there you see a picture of Ford Field. The fans are on their feet as the Lions starters are introduced. And it was a great moment, great electricity here in the building today. 65,000 fans looking forward to welcoming the Lions here into their new den. And, of course, this is just one of many games here this season. There's also another preseason game next Thursday, and then there are 8 home games throughout the Lions schedule. Take a look at some of those dates. August 29th, as I mentioned, against Buffalo, wrapping up the preseason. Then it's Green Bay, New Orleans, Chicago, Dallas, New York, New England on Thanksgiving Day, Tampa, and Minnesota, Huel.
Of course, all the fans here hoping for a win, but win or lose, this is a great day in the city of Detroit. Ford Field is now open. The game starts in just a few minutes. Have a great day. Enjoy the kickoff.
Just 1 year ago, the Lions opened Pittsburgh's new stadium, Heinz Field. Today, the Steelers return the favor in Detroit. It's week 3 of the preseason, and the Lions enter Ford Field, revving for a win. It's here. the inaugural home opener, as Detroit welcomes the Lions back home.
After nearly 3 years of construction, Ford Field is ready to open its doors to the National Football League. What was once just a dream is now perhaps the most spectacular building of its kind. Ford Field, home of the Lions, and another building block for the city of Detroit. Hello again, everybody. I'm Dan Miller, joined as always by former Lions All-Pro Chris Spielman. And Chris, let's get right to it. All of the excitement, all of the hoopla is great, but what this team wants to do today is come right into this building and from day one make it theirs, make it a home field advantage.
Well, I think you have to. And how do you make it a home field advantage? And how do you keep the excitement going and the momentum going? By getting a win. Now, that's not me, the ex-football player and the broadcaster now. That's Coach Marty Morningwig. Talking to him last night, he said he's going to put a little bit more emphasis on winning. Luther Ellis, during the media, said he wants to put a little bit more emphasis on winning. I think it's important because this team, again, wasn't 14-2 last year. It was 2-14. They need to establish an attitude. An attitude is about winning. Once you win, that cures everything.
Now, this team obviously is going to get some guys back from injuries today. Let's start on the defensive line, where they're going to get Shaun Rogers back. That should help big time in the middle.
Let me say something about this defensive line. And I was talking to some reporters before the game. They're looking at me like I'm a little crazy, but I do believe this, that as a unit, they could be the top 3 in the NFL. You're talking about Robert Porcher, James Hall, Luther Ellis, Shaun Rogers, 2 Pro Bowlers. Pro Bowlers could be. They're essential to the success of this defense. Why? Because they're essential in stopping the run, and Shaun Rogers is one of them. He's a big, stout guy inside. Plus, they're your best pass defense. They get pressure on the quarterback, force the forward quick throws, make quarterbacks throw off their back foots, and also get shots on him. And that makes the quarterback make bad decisions.
Well, if they can make a quarterback make bad decisions, could mean big plays for the corners. They get one of their corners back today in Terry Fair.
Well, it's essential to have Terry Fair back. And Eric Davis and Todd Light have both done admirable jobs. Now, they have 25 years experience between them. Terry Fair's kind of their young gun. They need him not only to play corner, but also to shore up your nickel and dime defenses. Terry Fair is an essential part to this defense and a key to the success of this defense.
All right, Terry Fair back, Shaun Rogers back, the entire football team getting ready to go. The inaugural kickoff at Ford Field is coming up right after this, so stay with us.
Detroit Lions football is being brought to you by your 31 Metro Detroit Ford dealers. Check out the current offers at the Metro Detroit Ford dealers website, www.forddirect.com. By America Online, so easy to use, no wonder it's #1. By Comerica Bank, we listen, we understand, we make it work. By Pepsi, the joy of Pepsi. By Ford Motor Company, Ford, no boundaries. And by National City Bank and its 30,000 employees who care about doing what's right for you.
Field, Dan Miller along with Chris Spielman as we get set for the opening kickoff. And one question that I think a lot of us want to see answered is just how loud this building is going to get. We're going to get an answer very quickly because the Lions have won the toss. They are set to receive. So the players are ready. We're ready. We hope you're ready. Let's all sit back, relax, and enjoy an afternoon of football from the city of Detroit.
See Desmond Howard back deep, which was a surprise. Certainly a weapon for the Lions.
Todd Peterson set to kick off for the Steelers, and as you said, number 80, Desmond Howard back deep. Peterson puts his foot into it, and the NFL has returned to the Motor City. Desmond Howard takes it around the 5, back to the 15, to the 20, dives out to the 25, and that's where the Lions will take over. 1st and 10, a 20-yard return tackle by Veron Hayes on special teams.
15 foot on the tackle for Pittsburgh. We'd like to please welcome today.
Mike McMahon will get the call at quarterback for the Lions today. He'll go most of the first half. Then we anticipate seeing Joey Harrington. Running backs for the Lions today, Corey Schlesinger and James Stewart. Outside, Oz Hakeem and Bill Schrader. First time we have seen the 2 free agents playing together this year. There you see the guys up front, Backus McDougal, Semple Raiola, and Ray Brown, who was acquired by the team this week. What does he bring in terms of veteran presence in the person of Ray Brown, Chris.
I think you hit it right on the head, Dan. Veteran presence and leadership, and also coming from a winning attitude with the San Francisco 49ers. The other thing Ray Brown brings, he can play a variety of positions. He wants to play, and the kind of pro he is. I was talking to Matt Millen before the game, and Ray has been out of football and didn't know if he was going to have a job. Matt says, "How's your body feel, Ray?" Ray says, "Are you kidding? I get to play football today." He's excited about being here, and the Lions are excited about having him.
We saw down on the field Clark Haggins, third year out of Colorado State, went down on the opening kickoff, being attended to by the Steelers staff right now. So we're in a bit of a delay here. Hopefully he will be all right. Backup linebacker for the Steelers. And I think interesting, we talked to Matt before the game just to expound upon some of his comments. He's looking to see how his team responds both offensively and defensively, because the Steelers are known as a tough, hard-hitting football team.
Well, that's true, and I know Marty Morningwig, we were in his office last night, and he says, look, the Steelers are a physical football team. They know they're a physical football team, and it's going to be interesting to see how we respond to that challenge. Now, if they punch us in the face, are we going to punch them right back? Or are we going to absorb the punch and say, yeah, we like that, hit us again, please? Or are we going to come back with 2 punches right to their chops?
And I think going back to Ray Brown, a guy that has been around as long as he has, knows what it is to take a shot, but also knows what it is to give one back. And that helps when you have young players around.
Well, I think so. He helps establish an attitude. And you got to do it within the rules, of course, but you want to be physical. You want to have a physical ball game to set the standard and the tone of what it's going to be like for the opponent to come into Ford Field and feel the wrath of the Lions.
Well, the Pittsburgh Steelers are a team. They have Super Bowl dreams. They honestly believe that they could win the Super Bowl this year. So this indeed is going to be a good test for the Lions. And here we go. First down and 10 for the Lions from their own 26-yard line. Mike McMahon with Stewart and Schlesinger behind him. Both receivers to the left side, Akeem and Schrader. On first down, McMahon to throw. Rolling right. Can't find anybody. He keeps it himself. Runs out of bounds at the 27. Picks up 1. It'll bring up second down. Call it 8.
It's a good, safe first call. Conservative call. Why? Because it gives Mike McMahon the option to run pass on the first play to get positive yardage.
Akeem comes out of the game.
Starting defense is Aaron Smith, Casey Hampton, Gilden, Fiala, Ferrier, and Porter, linebackers.
Love those linebackers. There you see the secondary for the Steelers as well. On second down, James Stewart cuts back across the 30, dives out to the 35-yard line. Stewart with a nice run there, picking up 7. It'll bring up third down and about 1. Brent Alexander coming up from his safety position to make the stop for Pittsburgh.
It's a great vision by James Stewart. Again, being patient, using his eyes, has his legs to find the open space.
Lions now, they need to get to the 36. The ball is right square in the middle of the 35. Schlesinger the up back, Stewart the deep back. Pittsburgh stacks the line. McMahon calling out the signals, gives it to Schlesinger. First back through. It's going to be very, very close. It'll depend on the spot. Casey Hampton doing a nice job of clogging the middle for Pittsburgh.
Well, he's a big clog. He's a 2-plunger. You know what I mean, Dan?
I do know what you mean.
All right.
I do know what you mean. I think everybody does. They appreciate that with their lunch.
You know, and a lot of people say, why run Corey Schlesinger right up the middle there? Because it's from short distance. It gives your offensive lineman a chance to establish that initial push. It looks from up here. I've been right on my spots. I think you got the first down.
You got me by a mile because I'm about 1 for 13 so far in 2 games. Stretch of the chains. The Lions have a first down. It is 1st and 10 from their own 36. Bruce Spielman 1 for 1 on opening day at Ford Field.
And the first Ford Field first down.
Just announced here is the first Ford Field first down. Going to the Lions. Receivers to the near side again. That's Akeem in the slot. Schrader to the far side. Now Akeem in motion. McMahon gives to Stewart. Stewart not much there. Again, met by Casey Hampton, second year out of Texas. Again, doing a good job in the middle. Gain of 1. Bring up second down and 9.
And Dominic Riola, the center, getting his first start right here. And one of the things Dominic needs to get better at is his run blocking. He's one-on-one with Casey Hampton. Casey kind of discarded him and won that individual battle on that particular play.
Avion Cason checks in, second down and long. Akeem and Schrader to the near side. Scotty Anderson to the far. Second down, McMahon to throw. Pocket holds, looking out there for Schrader. Got him at the 30, makes the catch. the 26-yard line. A nice throw and a nice catch there for 36 yards. They beat Chad Scott in coverage.
Yeah, what happens is the safety sits down. Schrader recognizes the safety sitting down in cover 2. And Schrader runs his route deep, and Mike McMahon delivers a perfect strike, which he needed to do for his confidence, knowing that number 3 is breathing right down his neck.
Bill Schrader getting deep there, and there's a delay for just a moment as they help Chad Scott off the top of your screen right there over the sidelines. So a nice play for the Lions, and a bit of a changeup when you have them lined up over there, Chris, with Oz Hakeem, that you'd send Schrader deep. It's nice to have Hakeem out there as a decoy.
Yeah, you need to have both of them together, and it helps not only Oz Hakeem and Bill Schrader, but it helps the quarterbacks get the timing of the routes with the guys that supposedly are going to be there on opening day.
That time they had Oz Hakeem lined up in the backfield, and he takes the pass out of the backfield, spins at the 20, scoops down to the 15-yard line, close to another Lions first down.
And that's what Oz Hakeem is known for, not only catching the football, but what does he do after he catches the football? He turns into a running back. You see right here, Oz Hakeem has a knack of knowing where the sticks are. Does a great job of getting the sticks and protecting himself, not absorbing an unnecessary hit.
And it is indeed a first down for the Lions. At the Pittsburgh 14-yard line, Stewart in motion. Gives to Schlesinger, finds a hole. Schlesinger to the 10, to the 5, down to the 1. Corey Schlesinger with a big run right there. 13 yards, first and goal, Detroit. Deshae Townsend making the stop for Pittsburgh, and it is not easy to bring Corey down when he gets that head of steam going.
Well, you know, you're exactly right, and speaking from experience, he is a brute to tackle. I might as well go try to tackle a truck, and right there's a great job of Dominic Riola getting in the way, knocking somebody down, and Corey hustling, diving, trying to get that first touchdown here at Ford Field.
2 tight ends into the game, Michael Ricks and John Owens. The backs are Schlesinger and Stewart. The give, the fake, the throw, touchdown, James Stewart. Nice play action fake there, and the 1-yard toss to James Stewart, and the first touchdown at Ford Field comes on a 1-yard pass from Mike McMahon.
Well, how big is that for Mike McMahon? You come with the play action. Corey picks up not only a great fake, but a great block. James Stewart beats the coverage to the flat. Mike McMahon, recognition of knowing where to go with the ball, delivers a strike.
Extra point coming up. John Jett to hold, Jason Hanson to kick. Snap back, spot down, kick is up, and it is good. And the Lions march right down the field and take a 7-0 lead over the Pittsburgh Steelers. An impressive showing by the offense after taking the opening kickoff at Ford Field. The defense will be coming out when we come back. Back at Ford Field, Dan Miller along with Chris Spielman. The Lions take a 7-0 lead, marching down the field, 8 plays, 74 yards in 3 minutes and 58 seconds. We saw James Stewart there on the receiving end of a Mike McMahon pass. Now it's Jason Hanson set to kick off. Lee Williams and Hank Poteet deep. It's going to be Lee Mays taking it at about the 3-yard line, back to the 10, to the 15. Spins at the 20 and goes down at the 21. Ball came loose. And they're going to say he was down right there, and the Steelers will take over at their own 21-yard line. Jeff Gooch, nice play on special teams to make the stop.
You know, the one thing you're looking for, especially if you're not winning in preseason, is come out with energy and attitude. And right there, the offense of the Lions just took it right down the field against the #1 defense. Now, can our defense match the standard that the offense has set?
Tommy Maddox is the quarterback. Cordell Stewart still recovering from that concussion he suffered against Washington last week. We'll talk more about Maddox momentarily. The give is to Jerome Bettis. Bettis stopped at the line, not much there. Maybe one with his forward progress. Barrett Green doing a nice job to come up and make the tackle. Let's check our Pepsi starting lineup for the Lions on defense. Up front, the guys you were talking about, Chris. Robert Porcher, Luke Pritchett, James Hall. Linebackers for the Lions today. Chris Claiborne, as always, in the middle, flanked by Barrett Green and Clint Krewald. And the secondary, which, as we said, will get a boost today from the return of Terry Fair, who will be in there we anticipate at some point here in the first quarter. 2nd down, 9 now. Maddox to throw. Looks, time. Ball is loose down on the ground. It was knocked away, and the Lions got it at the 15-yard line. A big, big defensive play by Luther Ellis coming in to knock the ball away.
Well, that's huge, not only for the Lions defense, the crowds, and the whole Lions team, but it's big for Luther Ellis. Coming off of his elbow surgery, getting penetration and having the awareness. You'll see Luther Ellis getting penetration, having the awareness to strip the ball with that big elbow brace there. That's a great job by Luther Ellis. Again, you'll see penetration by Luther Ellis, having the presence to get that ball, knowing he wasn't going to get the sack, but still be able to reach around and have concentration and strength enough to knock that ball out.
You get a look at Robert Porcher, who saw that football and dove on it. Lions have it, leading 7-0. Knock it on the door again right here after the turnover. Schrader and Cason to the left, Oz-Hakeem to the right, Schlesinger the lone back behind McMahon. Hakeem in motion, McMahon to throw on 1st down. Pressure comes, gets it out of there. A bit behind Hakeem and incomplete. Pressure coming, though, from Joey Porter. And these Steeler linebackers will come after you all day long.
Yeah, Joey Porter, probably the least unknown linebacker, has a great pass rusher. That time beat Jeff Backus to put pressure on McMahon. It's too bad because the receiver was over and Mike was forced to hurry the throw.
The Steelers led the league in sacks last year, so as we said, they will get after you. 2nd down and 10 now. 2 backs behind McMahon. Ricks in motion. McMahon gives it to Stewart, trying the left side, finds a gap. Stewart down to the 11. You see how quickly that Steeler defense can close things up. Lee Flowers getting the job done, making the tackle after a 4-yard gain.
Nonetheless, again, you'll see the veteran presence of James Stewart, and what he has is great vision and patience, and you need that in the NFL. Right there, he's following his lead block, Corey Schlesinger. Corey, go hit somebody. See 41? Well, Corey, you knocked that guy out. That's okay. But James still knows how to be patient, find the hole, and hit it when he sees an opening.
3rd down, 6 now. Scotty Anderson to the left side, along with Oz-Hakeem. McMahon to throw, looking, gonna have to go. Can't go anywhere. Taken down. A nice defensive play by big number 92 for the Steelers, Jason Gilden.
Why don't you run a little further downfield, Jason, so the camera can get on you by yourself. That's it. Again, though, regardless of the showboating afterward, that's a great job by Jason Gilden and what the Pittsburgh Steelers bring to the table as far as outside pressure, smaller linebackers opposed to 4-3 defenses that use defensive ends.
So a 7-yard loss on the play brings up a 4th down and 13. Jason Hansen comes on to try a 38-yard field goal. Spot down, kick is up, and it is good. Jason Hansen sends it through, and the Lions off the turnover pick up 3 more. They lead the Steelers by a score of 10-0. Back at Ford Field, Dan Miller along with Chris Spielman. The Lions off to a great start in their new home, leading Pittsburgh by a score of 10-0. Field goal coming off the turnover just a couple of moments ago. Jason Hansen now set to kick off. Deep once again for the Steelers, Hank Poteet and Lee Mays. Hansen sends it on its way. It's going to be Lee Mays again. Mays takes it at the 9. Back to the 15, cuts it outside now at the 20. Mays with some room to run, turning the corner at the 30. Flag comes in, Mays still going. Finally, Jason Hansen takes him down just across midfield. A 44-yard return.
I taught Jason how to make that tackle.
Close the gate.
Only kicker in the league that knows how to tackle like that. Good job, Jason. Got a hold on Pittsburgh.
And it does look like this one's coming back, so a 44-yard return will go for naught.
Again, I like the energy.
During the return, holding, number 50 of the return team. 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
Penalty called against Larry Foote, rookie out of Michigan. A young man I think a lot of folks here came to see today. Larry Foote, very talented and a young linebacker in that Pittsburgh system. We're going to take a break and come right back. The Steelers will have it when we return, trailing by a score of 10-0. Ford Field. The Lions leading the Steelers by a score of 10-0. Pittsburgh first and 10 on their own 21-yard line. As we told you at the top of the broadcast, Cordell Stewart will not play today. Suffered a concussion against Washington last week. Expect to see Tommy Maddox in the first half, Charlie Batch in the second half. Maddox gives to Jerome Bettis. Bettis looking for some room, nowhere to go, chased down from behind by Luther Ellis.
And also James Hall, Dan, and in the opening we talked about the importance of this defensive line and how good they are. Everything starts up front with those guys. If they win their individual battles, offenses are going to have a difficult time moving the ball.
Take a look here at our Pepsi starting offense for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Maddox the quarterback, Bettis and Kreider the running backs up front, Gandy, Hardings, Ross, Smith. It's a good Pittsburgh Steeler football team that can move the ball on the ground. Lions have done a good job of bottling them up so far. They're going to the air here. Maddox throwing out there. Incomplete. Intended out there for Troy Edwards, but he underthrew him. Yeah, Tommy Maddox has never enjoyed much success in the National Football League.
Not in the National Football League. Of course, he's the reigning MVP of the XFL, now defunct XFL.
The one and the only MVP in the XFL.
That's true. But actually, that pass was not even intended for Troy Edwards. It was intended for his tight end, Bruner.
Facing a 3rd down and 10 now. And we're hearing some noise from the crowd here at Ford Field.
It's a good time to run a blitz, Dan. Force them to hot read here.
Lions showing blitz, and here they come. Flags everywhere. The play is dead. Looked like one of the Steelers might have jumped.
Again, offensive linemen get antsy when they see blitz coming because they got to make adjustments and calls. Sometimes they jump the gun.
72 offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
Wayne Gandy got a little jumpy there as the Lions were showing blitz.
And you see a lot of people come up and makes Wayne Gandy make an adjustment. So I got to get out there and get outside. That's a little guy. I got to get back, get back.
Instead of 3rd and 10 now, it's 3rd and 15. Steelers will go from the shotgun. Maddox with it, back to pass, looks, throws over the middle, caught out there by Antoine Randall L. Randall L doing a nice job taking down at about the 38-yard line. A pickup of 23 and a first down.
Yeah, that's on the middle linebacker. Now, what are you saying, Chris? That's 20 yards downfield. Well, understand where the sticks are. If you're the middle linebacker, you have to get as deep as the deepest in that cover two, which it was, to take that inside route away. Jeff Gooch cut his drop short.
Antoine Randall L has done a very nice job so far for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He has scored catching the football. He has scored taking the ball on a reverse. He's a very versatile player. Talked to Charlie Batch about it before the game. They're going to devise all sorts of ways to get him the football. Well, 1st and 10, Maddox the throw, gets it out there to Kreider, and he is met right away, and the ball comes loose. Pittsburgh got it back. Plaxico Burress picked it up after Kreider dropped it. Big hit on the play by Todd Light.
That's a great job of Todd Light coming off Plaxico Burress, playing in his zone and making a great hit on Kreider. A bigger man hitting him high, and Chris Claiborne hustling to the football is there to make sure he secures a tackle on Plaxico Burress, who did pick up the fumble.
Kreider 5'11", 246. Quite the edge, as you said, over Todd Light. 2nd down, 6 now.
Todd had something for him, though.
Jeremy Tooman in motion. Give is to Bettis. Bettis picks his way across the 45 to the 46-yard line. Clint Freewald making the tackle for Detroit. It'll bring up 3rd down.
It's the 2nd time I've seen Jerome Bettis play this preseason. I know you don't want to put judgment on that guy, but to me, he looks too big. He's a big bus. For him to be effective, he needs to be medium bus. He's too big bus now. He's got to lose some weight, in other words, to be effective.
Jerome Bettis coming off a terrific year, but if there has been one problem that he's had, it's been playing weight.
I think he'd be healthier if he lost some weight.
On 3rd down now, Maddox to pass, looking left, throwing out there, got it complete, caught by Troy Edwards. Edwards driven back, but his forward progress will certainly give him enough for the 1st down. Chris Cash in coverage.
It's a nice job by the Pittsburgh Steelers offensive line and protection. You give any quarterback, I don't care if he's the MVP of the UFL, he's going to deliver a football if he's in the NFL with that kind of time. But there you see, you lose contain. James Hall. Chris Cash has been impressive. Nice break on the ball, secure the tackle in front of him.
So Pittsburgh has something going now. 1st and 10 at the Lions 42. Bettis the deep back behind Maddox. Maddox to throw again, looking right side for Plaxico Burress. Got him at the 25. Burress to the 15, 10, taken down at the 1-yard line. A big play right there, 41 yards. Eric Davis making the stop for the Lions, but not before Pittsburgh pulls it right up to the door, trailing by a score of 10-0.
Well, when you're 6'6" and you get inside and split it, right here, Corey Harris has got to make the tackle. He's the safety, and you see Plaxico Burress with the ability to run after the catch. See, Todd Light gets his shoulders turned, has to do a speed turn, and Plaxico beat him inside. Corey Harris needs to be there to make a hit.
3 tight ends into the game now for the Steelers. I'm guessing we might get a look at that big bus. Bettis is the deep back. Kreider in motion. Bettis gets the call, and Bettis scores the touchdown. Jerome Bettis over the right side for a 1-yard run, and Pittsburgh is on the board.
See right here, Pittsburgh does a good job of getting a lead blocker, cutting people off, and just giving the amount of room for Jerome Bettis to get in the end zone.
Todd Peterson comes on to attempt the extra point. Tommy Maddox is the holder. Gets it down and the kick away, and he puts it through. So the Steelers, after trailing by a score of 10-0, march down the field and score the touchdown. Lions still lead it, though, 10-7. They'll get the ball back when we come back. Back in Detroit, the inaugural game at Ford Field. We're in the first quarter. Lions leading Pittsburgh by a score of 10-7. Our spotter, Joe Abramson, points out that the first visiting touchdown scored by a Detroiter, Jerome Bettis. That's going in for Pittsburgh just moments ago. Big play for Plaxico Burress on the drive out of Michigan State as well. So all sorts of Michigan connections as Desmond Howard takes the kickoff and runs out over the 25 to the 27, 16-yard return. That's where Mike McMahon and the Lions will take over once again.
Pittsburgh, one thing the Steelers want to do, and probably cost them the Super Bowl berth, is improve their special teams. That's something the Lions can look to take advantage of today.
Well, one thing they have this year that's different from last year is no Chris Brown, different place kicker. All sorts of problems for him last year, in particular at Heinz Field.
And a new special teams coach, too.
First down and 10 for the Lions, their own 27. Stewart trying the right side, cuts it back. Not much room there. He'll go down. Looks like he lost one. Stacey Hampton again, and we've called his name a lot in the early going, doing the job for Pittsburgh in the middle.
Former #1 draft pick, just a straight boy dog in the middle there. Again, he's a big load that causes havoc. You see him hustling, getting down the line of scrimmage. James Ferrier, free agent pickup for them also on the stop.
Second down and 11 now. Asakeem to the top of your screen. Bill Schrader to the bottom. McMahon to throw. Trying to buy some time, dancing around, and down he goes. Sack on the play by John Fiala, 5th year out of Washington. And we told you, you cannot take much time back there with this Pittsburgh Steelers defense. You got to drop, make a decision.
I want you to watch one thing. See, watch his eyes. Now, as soon as he feels pressure, his eyes are going to go to the pressure around him instead of keeping his eyes downfield. Now, when he comes more comfortable to throwing the football and not looking to run all the time, he will look downfield and possibly find a receiver that's open.
Lamont Warren checks in for the Lions on 3rd and 17. That's Schrader in motion. Again, McMahon to throw, looking for Asakeem, and right through his hands at the 31. Hakeem should have had that one, and he had a little room to run if he'd have caught it, but he does not make the catch, and the Lions will have to punt it away.
He's had a little trouble holding on to the ball. Now he dropped a touchdown pass by Mike McMahon in Cleveland last week. And again, this is one that he needs. And it's preseason now, and he's working out the kinks. But look, they brought him in here to be an impact player. Impact players make those catch no matter what. In their sleep, they make that catch.
Well, if there was a knock on Asakeem in St. Louis, a couple of them actually. One was that he would cough up the football. The other that he did not always have the best hands. John Jett gets it away. Antoine Randall L. back deep, calling for the fair catch for the Steelers and making it at the 31-yard line. So that's where Pittsburgh will take over. A 49-yard punt for John Jett. The Lions lead it 10-7. They're on defense when we come back. in the first quarter. Lions leading Pittsburgh by a score of 10-7 here at Ford Field. Dan Miller, Chris Spielman with you. Robert Bailey, Jennifer Hammond down on the field as well. We will hear from them in just a bit. Again, Bettis is the deep back behind Tommy Maddox on 1st down and 10. Maddox with the give to Bettis. The bus tries the right side, and again, not much room there. Gets out to about the 32-yard line. Pickup of 1. Sean Rogers back and seeing his first game action of the year, making the tackle.
That's a great athletic play by Sean Rogers. Why he's coming from the backside and making a great play, splitting a double team, then chasing down Jerome Bettis, laying out to make the hit. He's tough to handle one-on-one. That's why he's a force. 2nd down and 9 now for the Steelers. 3 receivers in the game. Jeremy Tooman in the slot. Give again to Bettis. Tries the right side. Doesn't find much. Luther Ellis had him by the jersey and took him down. Again, that's big for Luther Ellis. Defeating his man, recognizing draw. He's in his pass rush, and what he'll do is recognize draw, disengage with the blocker, and tackle the bus with one arm. Now, Luther's a strong man. You need to be a strong man if you're going to tackle a bus with one arm.
He did it right there. 3 receivers now for the Steelers. Troy Edwards and Antoine Randall to the bottom of your screen. The throw out there for Kreider, trying to set up the screen, and Kreider dropped it. They had blockers in front, but it looked as if Kreider might try to take off before he had the football.
Again, the Lions were in a 2-deep zone that time, playing soft coverage where they ran a quick screen. They had an opportunity to make, but again, you got to execute. You got to catch the ball before you run with the ball. See ball, catch ball.
Then run with ball.
Then run ball. The football player. See how I am?
You still got it, man.
All right.
You still got it. Josh Miller to punt it away for the Steelers. Desmond Howard back deep for the Lions. Punt hangs in the air. Howard calls for the fair catch and makes it at the 28-yard line. 40-yard punt. Lions will take over with 2 minutes and 2 seconds to go in the first quarter, leading by a score of 10-7. Take a look at this week's AOL Lions Online question. Log on to www.detroitlions.com to vote. How much of a home field advantage does Ford Field provide for the Lions? Once again, www.detroitlions.com to vote. We'll give you the results later on in the telecast. There you see the skyline of Detroit. Certainly the overhead view has changed with the addition of Ford Field. James Stewart in motion, 1st and 10 for the Lions. Play action fake, going out there looking for Akeem. They can't get together. Incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
One of the reasons Akeem is brought in here is his speed. That time Mike McMahon overthrew him a little bit, but he threw the ball in the right place because the corner had excellent coverage inside on the upfield shoulder. If Oz was to catch the ball, it would have been outside over his downfield shoulder. It was a well-placed ball by Mike McMahon.
2nd down and 10 now. Less than 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. 1:57 remaining. Stewart and Schlesinger behind McMahon. Stewart's got the ball. Stewart trying the left side. Finds a hole. Breaks across the 30. Out to the 35. Forced out by John Fiala. Pickup of 6. It'll bring up 3rd down and 4.
And James is running with a little bit of bounce in his legs. And what helps that bounce in his legs when you have a lead blocker like a rockhead like Corey Schlesinger. You see Corey right here kick out to safety. And James making the cut inside and doing a nice job of running through the tackle by a linebacker.
On 3rd down and 4, Lamont Warren checks into the game. Lions also with 3 receivers. Bill Schrader to the top of your screen. Down at the bottom, it's Akeem in the slot. Scotty Anderson the near sideline. On 3rd down, McMahon throws it out there, complete to Akeem. Akeem across the 45 to the 49. It'll be a 1st down after a pickup of 14. Deshae Townsend finally making the stop for Pittsburgh.
That's a well-executed play. It starts up front. First of all, the protection is good. Now, Mike McMahon has his eyes on Akeem, but he's able to deliver a strike on an outcut. Akeem with perfect timing gets upfield, knows the word, doesn't step out of bounds, but gets upfield and gets extra yardage. That was a great throw by Mike McMahon.
Avion Cason comes on. James Stewart goes off. Lions stay with a 3-receiver set. 1st down and 10 as they approach midfield. McMahon to throw, setting up the screen, gets it to Cason. Kason had some blockers in front, but instead it was number 55, Joey Porter, coming up and making a nice play to make the stop.
Kason got in a little bit of a hurry. Why do I say that? Because he was actually even with his blockers. In order for you to set up the screen, the back has to be lined up behind the blockers to give those guys a chance to clear those white jerseys and black helmets out of the way. Got a little excited. You know, that happens with young running backs. On screens, they get impatient. They want to go. Be patient.
One thing we'll talk about, a lot of guys getting impatient with cut-down day looming coming up this week. Jobs will be lost. Guys are trying to make an impression right now. James Stewart doesn't have to. He barrels his way across midfield, across the 40, down near the 35. Pickup of 13 and a first down. Lee Flowers finally had to come up from his safety position to make the stop.
It's good to see James Stewart run with some reckless abandon. It starts up front right here. You'll see Dominic Riola get a good block. Tony Semple does a nice job of getting an arm out on Ferrier and let James Stewart hit the hole with burst and getting downfield positive yardage.
The Lions with a first down and some momentum, leading 10-7. That's the end of the first quarter. Back with more after this. Spielman back at Ford Field. Sellout, 65,000 fans. Getting their first chance to look around this brand new $500 million structure.
Yeah. It's such an honor for me to be a part of it, you know, with my history with the Lions, and just to be here for opening day is truly something special.
I echo those sentiments exactly. It is an honor to be here and an honor to call this game today. Mike McMahon on first down, looking deep, throwing incomplete, looking for Bill Schrader out there. Coverage by Brent Alexander. It'll bring up second down.
I like to play its play action. Trying to set him up for the big one. Brent Alexander played great defense.
First quarter stats there. Big numbers that jump right out at you. Rushing right there, Chris.
-1. Anytime you can hold a team to -1, you got a pretty good chance of winning the ball game. 47 yards for the Lions. That's balanced. 57-41. That's outstanding. And they're mixing and matching first and second down, running and passing, mixing it up nicely to keep the defense guessing.
Second down now. McMahon with the give to Stewart. Stewart finds a little hole, spins down inside the 35 to the 33. Pickup of 4. John Fiala with the stop. It'll bring up third down.
Winning the battle with the line of scrimmage, because when you see linebackers making plays 4 yards downfield, that tells me the offensive line is getting to them. Right there, Jeff Backus does a good job of cutting his man down, creating space for James Stewart to hit up in there.
And on third down now, the Lions will bring in Lamont Warren. Oz Hakeem to the near side. Bill Schrader on the slot to the far. Scotty Anderson out there as well. McMahon to pass on third down, looking, throwing. Anderson out there, incomplete just off his fingertips. McMahon looking for Anderson, had to shake Townsend feet, but just barely incomplete.
Yeah, you know the rule. If you're an NFL wide receiver and that ball touches a fingernail or half of a fingernail, you catch the ball. That is the standard that is set for NFL wide receivers. Scotty Anderson does a great route, great pass. You have to bring that one in order to be good. You can be an average guy and miss those, but if you want to be great or good, you got to make that catch.
And with the incomplete pass, it brings up fourth down. Jason Hansen on now to attempt a 51-yard field goal. Jet with a spot. Hansen puts his foot into it, got the distance off the upright, and no good. Hansen with a miss, certainly had the distance there from 51, but not the aim. But the Lions still lead by a score of 10-7. We'll be right back. Back, these aerial pictures of the city of Detroit are courtesy of the Spirit of Goodyear, based just down the road in Akron, Ohio. Goodyear built its first blimp in 1925, and they will christen their newest blimp, the Spirit of America, on September 5th. On September 8th, expect to see 4 Goodyear blimps flying in formation over the Detroit area. Should be quite a sight. 4 blimps together. Don't forget, look up that day, you might see him. Pass out to Plaxico Burris on first down, forced out of bounds by Terry Fair, who was checked into the game for the Lions.
It's good to see Terry Fair out there, and they played a nice zone coverage there, and that's going to be open on zone. You got to stay patient as a defense and not panic and say, "I'll get closer to him." But right here, Tommy Maddox recognizes where the weakness of the zone is, delivers to Plaxico Burris. Terry Fair right there, eliminating yards after catch. That's a good job by Terry. Good to see him break on that ball like that.
Steelers starting this drive in good field position after the missed field goal. starting from the place of the spot. 41-yard line. Give to Amos Zaraway, who's checked into the game. Zaraway spins across the 45, picks up 3 out to the 48. Robert Porcher makes the stop for Detroit.
And off to number 21, Amos Zaraway.
Robert Porcher, to me, has looked the best he's looked in the preseason since I've been watching. He's just been a dominant player. Again, checking his responsibility, then chasing the ball down from behind, hustling and making a play. And James Hall in there. Good. When you have defensive ends play the run like our guys do, that's a great sign for your total defense.
3rd down and 2 now. Pittsburgh from its own 49. They need to get just inside the Lions' 49. The give, and going for the first down is Veron Hayes. Picks up 6.
One of the weaknesses of a dime package. That's 6 defensive backs, 1 linebacker. You're exposed to the run, especially against a 2-back set like the Pittsburgh Steelers had. Corey Harris does a nice job of sniffing it out, but he's lined up a little bit too deep. Now Corey's got to sneak in there a little quicker. They deliver low. Wrap your arms, Corey. Don't let him run through you. Wrap your arms. Bring your feet.
Zaraway, the deep back. 2 tight ends in now for the Steelers. Bruner and Jeremy Tooman. Pitch out to Zaraway. Open field down to the 40, the 35. Swings down to the 31-yard line. Corey Harris makes the stop for Detroit, but not before a gain of 16.
Yeah, Brian Walker's out there throwing up his right hand, and he has a right to throw up his right hand right there. He stood up Wayne Gandy, the big offensive tackle of the Steelers. The problem was that Wayne had his hands inside and a little hold right there. You see that? Now Wayne, smart veteran guy, knows to throw his hands up and say, I'm not holding. Again, good hustle by Corey Harris. And one of the things, the upgrade that the Lions do have is that safety this year on their defensive team.
1st down and 10 now for the Steelers from Detroit's 31-yard line. Zaraway again, the deep back. Again, it's Zaraway taking the pitch. Down to the 30. Cuts down to about the 28-yard line. Be a pickup of 3. It'll bring up 2nd down and 7. Kelvin Pritchett makes the stop for Detroit.
And Kelvin provides excellent depth on that defensive line. Former #1 pick back in 1991. Again, when you have depth, and that's with the way of the NFL, you're not going to be one defensive lineman and play the whole defensive game. The more depth, the more pressure you're able to put on with fresh legs, both in the run and the pass.
2nd down 8. Working our way down to the 11-minute mark. Lions showing blitz. Here they come. Pass out to Antoine Randall L. Too low and incomplete. And that's what they try to do with Randall L. They want to get him the ball in space where he is oh so dangerous.
They should get him the ball in space. I was talking to Kevin Colbert, the director of pro personnel and the vice president of football operations for the Steelers, and they felt at first that they were taking a reach with Randall L. Now, Atomic Maddox has got to deliver that football, but they felt he was a reach. I'm telling you right now, and I said this back when he was drafted, he will have the biggest impact out of any rookie in the NFL this year. I really do believe that.
I don't think it's a reach. I think it's a move other teams are going to wish they had made. 3rd down and 8 now from the shotgun. Maddox throwing complete to L. Look at him go. Antoine Randall L. spinning away from tacklers and in for the touchdown. 29 yards on the play. That's what he can do for a football team.
That's what we were talking about. And again, you want to get him the ball any way you can. He can make things happen. Corey Harris actually has good coverage on him, but he's so dangerous when he gets the ball. A little shake there. Hey, take a look. He gave him a leg, and he took the leg away. If he's going to give you a leg, don't jump for the leg. Go for the other leg.
I'm going to tell you something. Take a look at this and tell me if that doesn't, what he does to Todd Light right
nasty,
there, doesn't
boy.
look a little like number 20 that used to run in Detroit.
Man, that's flat nasty.
That was a nice move.
That's an ankle breaker.
Extra point is up, and it is good. And the Steelers come back to take the lead on the 29-yard pass. It was really a run by Antoine Randall L. A terrific play. The Lions are going to have to try to get it back when we come back. Back at Ford Field, the Steelers have come back to take the lead over the Lions. 14-10 our score. 10:56 to go in the 2nd quarter. Lions are going to get it back here. Larry Foster, whom we have not seen much of the preseason so far, back deep for Detroit.
He set a standard last preseason. The ability to return kicks. Dangerous weapon.
Should get a chance right here. And it will in fact be Larry Foster from the 6-yard line. Foster back to the 10, to the 15, going outside at the 20, still going at the 25, and take it down at the 28-yard line. 19 yards on the return. Troy Edwards with a special team stop for Pittsburgh. With an injury update now, let's swing it down to the field and check in with Robert Bailey. Robert.
Dan, injury update on James Stewart. He came off the field, he dinged his knee. Now the doctors say they want to take precaution and not put him back in the game. So we won't see James Stewart for the rest of the day. Thank you. Back to you, Dan.
All right, Robert, thank you very much. So James Stewart is done for the day.
This is the best he's looked. And again, he got some good quality work in and a lot of quality carries. You don't need to risk his health in a preseason game.
Checking in is the deep back now, James Mungro, rookie out of Syracuse, and he gets the call, and he has made an impression on this coaching staff. Mungro across the 25 to the 26-yard line. Pickup of 4. It'll bring up second down. John Fiala with a stop for Pittsburgh. But Marty Morningwig told us last night he wants another look at number 38 out.
He made an impression last week with cut down day coming. You need to make an impression right there. Even for his size, he runs with nice power and has the ability to get to the corner.
Second down 6 now for the Lions. 3 receivers in the game. Schrader in motion. McMahon to throw, rolling right, looking out there, got Schrader. Schrader turns, looks for the stick, and gets it across for the first down. Jason Gilden makes a stop, but not before the Lions can pick up 7 and move the chains.
It's great recognition, and why do I say that? Because right now, when you bring Schrader in motion, you're going to isolate a linebacker on a wide receiver. Mike McMahon recognized that, delivers the football to Schrader to get upfield and get a first down. Sure-handed receiver, Bill Schrader.
So the Lions have it now, 1st and 10 on their own 34. Schrader to the bottom of your screen, Asakeem in motion. It's Mungro getting the call, cuts it back to the left, gets out to the 35-yard line. Pickup of 1, it'll be second down and 9.
Did a nice job of getting 1 yard there. That Joey Porter on an inside move on Jeff Backus. Jeff just has to take him. James recognizes it, breaks outside. Ferrier does a good job from his linebacker position to make an open field tackle.
Kimo von Oelhoffen down on the field for Pittsburgh, being attended to by the Steelers staff. A lot of coaches, Chris, talk about the 3rd preseason game as being the game that they consider a dress rehearsal. I want to get your thoughts on that when we come back. We're going to take a break here at Ford Field with the Lions trailing Pittsburgh by a score of 14-10. Back at Ford Field, Lions trailing the Steelers by a score of 14-10. 9:39 to go in the second quarter. Lions with it in a second down and 8. 3 receivers in the game for Mike McMahon. McMahon to throw on second down. Pressure coming. He's got to get rid of it. Incomplete pass. McMahon was really being chased by Lee Flowers, who was coming on a blitz.
And Lee Flowers does a nice job, and that was a zone blitz, and they did a nice job of executing. Why? Because the Lions couldn't account for him. But I like Mike McMahon's decision. Instead of trying to make a big play and trying to avoid Lee Flowers, understood that Lee Flowers had the angle on him and got rid of the football to give them a somewhat manageable 3rd down.
And it is 3rd down and 8 now for Detroit. Asakeem to the top of your screen. Scotty Anderson and Bill Schrader at the bottom.
Here comes the blitz. They got to read hot.
Pittsburgh is showing blitz, and here they come. McMahon with a pocket holding, throws it out there. Incomplete, intended for John Owens. Hit him in the hands, and I believe, Chris, you said it earlier, it's in the hands. You got to catch that football.
That's 3 drops I've counted today so far, and Mike McMahon is doing his job by delivering the ball. The offensive line is doing their job by picking up the blitz. Now you got to make the catch. That's a well-thrown ball, only where Owens could catch it.
The Lions will have to punt it away. John Jett comes on. Back deep for Pittsburgh, Antoine Randall. Jett gets the snap and barely gets it away. Big pressure coming in there from John Allred. And Antoine Randall calls for the fair catch and makes it at the 20-yard line. A 44-yard punt. John Jett was able to get away. Pittsburgh will take over, leading in this game by a score of 14-10. Flagged out on the play.
There are 2 fouls on the play. 59, illegal formation. Number 29, illegal motion. Be a 5-yard penalty. Replay, 4th down.
Well, 2 penalties, take your pick. 5 yards will be marked off against the Lions. They'll have to punt it away again.
Bradford Banta's got to do a better job of delivering that football back there. If that ball's not a strike, you got too many good athletes coming off the corners that get penetration. You got to deliver a strike back there. That's your job.
Well,
put it in his hands and let him kick it.
They almost got that one right there. A lot of pressure coming on John Jett that time. This time the snap is a good one, and Jett gets it away. Randall L. back at his own 27, takes it there, cuts it upfield. Not much room, gets it back to about the 33-yard line. 42-yard punt, 6-yard return. Clint Krewald makes the tackle on special teams for Detroit. Steelers lead it by a score of 14-10. They've got the football. We'll be right back. Ford Field after this. Dan Miller and Chris Spielman back at Ford Field. Chris, what we were talking about a moment ago, many head coaches believe that third preseason game, which is the one we're playing right here, right now, is the most important and the closest to a dress rehearsal for the regular season. You've been out there. Do you agree?
I agree with him, because in the last preseason game, subconsciously, even you want to get off the field, get out of there, and get ready to play your regular game.
Flags down as Amos Zeroway gets the call. Tackled by Merritt Green. Picked up one, but it's going to be a hold against the Steelers.
You see right there, the hold is on Robert Porcher. That's the only way you can block him, is to hold Robert.
Holding. 72 offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Wayne Gandy's had a couple of penalties called against him today.
He got away with one on Brian Walker for a big play. But going back to Robert Porcher, he's such a key player. Not only is his on-field presence, but his presence in the locker room. Certainly one of the leaders of this football team, the guy that they count on.
So the Steelers backed up 10 more now. It'll be first down and 20. Maddox out of the shotgun to throw on first down. Looking and throwing is going to be almost picked off. Good defense out there. In the right place was Brian Walker, but I think that football surprised him.
You know what? A lot of coaches will come back to plays that they were successful. Earlier in the first quarter, they were successful on that play to Plaxico Burst. This time, Brian Walker's in great position. Now, if Plaxico makes this catch, Brian Walker's going to nail him. There he broke on the football, has to make the catch. Those are turnovers that you can't afford to give up, especially against a good team like the Steelers.
Brian Walker had a pick in the opening preseason game in Baltimore. Almost had one right there. Second down 20 now. Again, Maddox to throw. Got Randall L at the 28. He's bottled up and goes down at the 31. Pick up of 8. Barrett Green and Chris Claiborne doing a nice job of slamming the door on Randall L.
Yeah, it's a nice job in their zone drops, and that's one thing Chris Claiborne is improving on, is his zone drops and pass defense and recognition. Now you'll see here what I mean by distribution. Everybody's distributed across the field evenly, and you have 1, 2, 3 guys in position to make a play on a dangerous guy who catches the ball.
Third down and 12 now. Pittsburgh trying to keep its drive alive, leading 14-10 here at Ford Field. Maddox from the shotgun. In trouble. Down he goes. Luther Ellis with the pressure. Robert Porcher gets the sack. Big-time pressure coming from 2 big-time Lions up front.
You know, I can't tell you how important it is when you have an interior defensive line like Luther Ellis getting pressure. Right there, he throws a shake and bake on Big 79 and goes virtually untouched, forcing Maddox to step up into the waiting arms of Robert Porcher, who beats his guy with a nice little club rip.
So on fourth down now, the Steelers will have to punt it away. Desmond Howard back deep for the Lions, takes it on the run at his 39. Goes out of bounds there. That's where Detroit will take over after a 33-yard punt.
At about the 39-yard line, it'll be first and 10 Detroit.
Flag down on the play. It's going to be a hold against the Lions.
These are penalties that they can't have.
During the kick, holding, number 29 of the receiving team. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Penalty called against Chris Cash, special teams. So that'll back the Lions up even further. They'll take over now at their own 29-yard line. Let's check in down on the field with Robert Bailey, who's got something for us. What do you got, Robert?
Hi, Dan. How you doing? I'm here on the Ford Field. The surface is different from last year's surface. This is called field turf. Now, this stuff has a pad that's 2 inches thicker than last year's AstroTurf, and guys are able to wear regular cleats and turf shoes, which last year's turf, AstroTurf, in Pontiac Stadium, they could only wear turf shoes. So this stuff is better for guys' longevity and injuries. Back to you, Dan.
All right, Robert, thank you very much. And if you see things splashing up during the play, it's a mixture of rubber and sand as the ball is thrown and picked off out there. Larry Foote, the rookie out of Michigan, coming back home to Detroit and making a big play for the Steelers, stepping in front of Mike McMahon's pass and making the pick.
Well, that is a big play by a linebacker, and what he's doing is reading Mike McMahon's eyes. Now, if I'd have to put one weakness on Mike McMahon so far that I've witnessed this preseason, is that he's not looking to a second or third option. Right here, Larry Foote does a good job of recognizing pass and just steps right in front of the tight end. Now, Mike had the tight end in his sights all the time. Linebackers see that the tight end's in his sights, so he's going to break to where the quarterback's sights are.
So off the turnover, the Steelers leading by 4 take over 1st and 10 at the Lions 34. Amos Zaraway takes the handoff. Not much room there. Travis Kershke tackling him from behind. Bring up 2nd down.
You know, Barrett Green is doing a nice job of not only meeting the blocker in the hole, but not giving 1-for-1. Giving Travis Kershke time to pursue down the line of scrimmage and make a play.
2nd down 8 now. Inside of 7 minutes to go here in the first half. The first ever football game at Ford Field. The NFL has returned to downtown Detroit. 2nd down and 8. Maddox with 2 receivers to the right. Davis Zaraway behind him. And again, the give is to Zaraway. Finds a little hole, cuts it up inside the 30, down to the 28. Chris Claiborne wraps him up there after a pickup of 3. It'll bring up 3rd down and 5.
This is where Chris Claiborne can excel for the Lions. Right here, you'll see him there defeat the blocker, the offensive guard. Jeff Harding's actually the center. He gets his head across the bow and tackles Amos Zaraway. That's where Chris Claiborne needs to excel and up his game even more, though, so than he did last year. Being 250 pounds as opposed to 265 will help him become a better middle linebacker.
Lions looking for a stop right here on 3rd down. Maddox out of the shotgun, throwing right side, got it complete out there. Nice catch under pressure by Lee Mays for a 1st down.
Actually, Todd Light had pretty good, decent coverage in man-to-man right there, but Lee Mays' size took Todd Light like a basketball player and tried to post him up inside the basket, kept him on his rear end, used his rear end was his friend there, keeping Todd Light from getting it. Tommy Maddox delivers a strike. That's a well-executed play and a well-thrown ball. Todd Light had good coverage, but again, the size difference prevented Todd Light from getting in front of Lee Mays.
Lee Mays 6'2", 192. Todd Light 6 feet. A little advantage there. Mike McMahon, check that. Throwing is Maddox looking out there and complete for the touchdown to Mark Bruner. So a nice pitch and catch, 19 yards, Maddox to Bruner, and the Steelers add to their lead.
That's a real nice catch. Tommy Maddox actually forced that in there because it looked like he was covered. What you want to do is, if you're playing linebacker, you need to get depth. These guys are cutting their drops a little bit short because they're playing cover 2, and they have to get deep. Anytime there's an inside receiver going to the middle of the field to put pressure on the safeties, you got to wall him off all the way as far as he goes. If you cut it short, that's what happens because the safety gets put in a bind.
Todd Peterson on to add the extra point. It is up and it is good. So the Steelers off the connection from Maddox to Bruner up their lead now to 21-10 here at Ford Field.
Well, that's the one thing that all linebackers, I think, look, this is a lot of it is a zone defense concept and it's matchup man underneath. To me, at least from the replay that I looked at from that angle, looked to me like a cover 2. You have to get depth as a linebacker. Number 1 rule, get depth.
So the Lions will get it back and try to get something done after the Steelers go 4 plays and 34 yards, 2 minutes and 1 second. Well, the date was November 2nd, 2001. That's when they raised the roof on Ford Field. It was the first lift of this magnitude in the United States, weighing approximately 2,800 tons. Pretty amazing. They were able to get it up there. Watch it go. And here we are today, sitting underneath that roof. First ever game at Ford Field. Lions trailing, though, 21-10. Larry Foster back deep on the kickoff here. Get a beautiful view of this structure.
You know, this has been a little bit of a disappointment, me just being a former defensive player, because the defense has kind of carried the load the first 2 games. And right now, they're playing to run decently, but their pass defense has to shore up. And you're having a guy like Tommy Maddox, who's an NFL quarterback, but he's a backup NFL quarterback, that's kind of picking and choosing where he wants to go with the ball. You can't have that.
Saw James Stewart there a moment ago, done for the day with a bruised knee. Kickoff goes out of bounds. The Lions will get great field position out at the 40. So a special teams mistake there by the Steelers. Going to give Mike.
Kickoff out of bounds. By rule, the ball is placed 30 yards from the spot of the kickoff. First down.
So Mike McMahon will come back out. The Lions will have pretty good field position, needing to get something done, trailing 21-10.
You know, Bill Cowher, just taking a look at him, he walked by himself in disgust down to the 30-yard line because he knows how important. There he goes. Look, nobody's around him. Now he's coming back into the game. He was out of the game for a minute because he said, can I get a guy to kick the ball in play? There's a big wide field. It's 53 1/3 yards.
You never have to guess what Bill Cowher is feeling. He'll show you the whole way. James Mungro takes the handoff, across the 40, backing his way up to the 44, pick up a 4. It'll bring up second down.
That's a good hard run by James Mungro, bouncing it up in there and keeping his feet going. Just like tackling, on contact, you always want to bring your feet because you have a good running back. There's good vision and patience. Look, his feet are going. Even though I'm running backwards, my feet are going and has the understanding and concept to fall forward and not fall backwards.
A couple of jobs for backup running backs on this team, and James Mungro has put in a solid bid to claim one of those. Second down, 6 now. Stephen Trejo in motion. Again, Mungro picks his way across the line of scrimmage, up near midfield, picks up 4. It'll bring up third down and short.
The one thing people don't talk about is the smaller running backs that are powerful. I used to hate to play against those guys the most. Why? Because you can't see them behind those big fat hogs up front there. You can't find them. See, these guys are looking for him. I see him somewhere. Larry Foote's looking for him. He's got to be somewhere. But there's James Mungro picking and choosing and showing great patience and vision for a rookie.
Mungro 5'9", 214, so he is short, but he brings a load at 214, and you saw it right there.
Yeah, and I say fat hogs with love, by the way. You know, you understand.
I got what you mean. Mungro gets the call, makes the first man miss, and there he goes, down inside the 40. Finally tackled by Larry Foote, but not before a solid gain for the Lions and a first down, 16 yards on the play.
Yeah, now he's coming off of a neck injury after last week, showing great patience. Then outrunning and splitting defenders. Larry Foote does a good job of pursuing him, but James Mungro using his vision and burst. You don't have to be super fast, but you have to have great burst to be a running back, and that's what James Mungro has shown me on this play. Nice job, Schrader, blocking downfield. Keep on him, though. Keep on him. That's it. Finish him.
First down and 10 now. Ball on the 36. McMahon, play action fake, looking left and throw it out there. Complete to Stephen Trejo. Trejo down to the 25, very close to another first down. Again, Larry Foote making the tackle for the Steelers. Gain of 11, and indeed they'll move the chains again. So the Lions have something going here, trailing by 11.
Yeah, why that play works is because we've been successful running the football. There we run a little play action, get Mike out on the corner, give him run pass option. Trejo is wide open. Give him the football, let the running back run the ball.
Down inside of 3 minutes now, left in the first half. Mungro, the lone back behind Mike McMahon. Hakeem to the near side. The throw out there is behind Hakeem and incomplete.
It's a good thing you threw that behind, because that could have gone the other way. James Harrison, the linebacker, had a great beat on that 3-step drop. That's a timing thing, and that's with Oz missing a couple games. And the timing in practice, Dan, it doesn't compare to the timing in preseason, as preseason doesn't compare with the timing in regular season.
2 minutes and 50 seconds to go. We do expect to see Joey Harrington in the second half. But right now it's Mike McMahon trying to get something done. Avion Kason, the back behind him. McMahon on second down with time to throw. Gets it out, sets up the screen to Kason. Kason picks his way across the 20 down to the 18. It'll bring up third down. After the Lions pick up 6 there.
This time, Kason, you remember earlier, he got in front of his offensive lineman. This time he's a little more patient. See, he gets behind him, let those guys get downfield and block. Now, you got to come with a little bit more authority if you're a blocker, lead blocker down there, and Eric Beverly's got to bring a little bit of pop with him. James Harrison, the linebacker, knocked him in to Avion Quezon. He's got to knock Harrison out of there, not get knocked into the running back.
3rd down and 4 now. McMahon trying to keep the drive alive, looking for Schrader. Got him! Incomplete. Schrader had the ball in his hands and let it get away. The Lions had a touchdown right there, but instead it's going to be Jason Hanson coming on the field. Wow, that was close.
But you know what? That's been a little bit of a problem. Again, now the Lions are going to give them a dose of their own medicine. They're going to attack the middle of the field man-to-man. Schrader has his man beat. Easton, he's got to catch the ball. Again, now, look, we brought these guys in here, and they'll get it. I'm not saying that, but look, the ball hits your hands, you got to catch it. Right there's a touchdown, you drop it. You're a starting wide receiver, you drop a touchdown this week. Last week, Azakim dropped a touchdown. You got to make the play.
That was a big-time throw by McMahon, so now it's down to Jason Hanson. Hanson tries this one from 36. It is up, and it is good. So Jason Hanson, 2 for 2 on the day, and the Lions pull within 8. Trailing by a score of 21-13. We have reached the 2-minute warning here. We'll be right back. Back at Ford Field, Dan Miller along with Chris Spielman. There you see our score. Pittsburgh leading Detroit by 8, 21-13. 1:58 to go here in the first half.
You know, Dan, we got to get used to making plays. You have an opportunity to make a play, you got to make it. That's how you develop winning attitude. Make plays when the lights are on and when it counts.
If there's a positive from that last play, it's a big-time throw by Mike McMahon. He put it where it had to be. Same thing last week with Azakim.
The thing about Mike McMahon, if he makes a mistake, he doesn't get down on himself. He comes back and he's not afraid to make the tough throw.
Jason Hanson sends it out there, picked up by Lee Mays. Mays brings it back to the 20, looking for somewhere to go. Can't find anything, taken down at the 22. Bracy Walker making the tackle on special teams, a return of 17. Right now we're going down to the field. Jennifer Hammond standing by. Jennifer.
All right, thank you very much, Dan. And coming up at halftime as the Lions kick off their first game at Ford Field, Dan and Chris will sit down with Lions Vice Chairman Bill Ford Jr. Also, Robert Bailey and I will break down the first half, highlights and stats coming to you from the field at halftime, guys.
Thank you very much, Jennifer. And we do look forward to sitting down with Bill Ford Jr. at halftime. This has to be a very proud day for him and his family, and you hear the boos as Charlie Batches come into the game at quarterback for Pittsburgh. First down and 10 for Batch and the Steelers from their own 22. Gives it to Zeraway. Zeraway tries the left side across the 25 to the 26. Clint Grewalt makes the stop, but Zeraway picked up 4.
Now, Charlie so far has had a successful preseason. As you see there, 15 for 18 for 189 yards. And I guarantee you, he wants to make a point and prove a point at Ford Field today.
Batch going without a huddle right now. 1:25 to go in the first half. We heard even further reaction. The give is to Chris Fuamatu Ma'afala. He goes over the right side, picks up good yardage before Corey Harris takes him down. Gain of 10, first down for Pittsburgh.
And Pittsburgh is running the football, which is fine. They're picking up some yards, but the clock is working against them.
1 minute to go in the first half, each team with 3 timeouts remaining. Batch with 3 receivers in the game, 2 to the top of the screen, 1 to the bottom, but it's Fuamatu Ma'afala again on the delay. This time he'll go down behind the line of scrimmage. Barrett Green doing a nice job coming in there at a loss of 3 for Pittsburgh. The Steelers will take a timeout.
Antoine Lake also with penetration forced Fuamatu Ma'afala to stop, redirect, giving Barrett Green time to redirect and make a tackle.
You know, you talked about Charlie Batch wanting to come back here and make an impression. Football players don't forget. They don't forget what they perceive as a slight or a bad time, and I can guarantee you this: Charlie Batch didn't feel like he got his just due here in Detroit. This is a chance for him to come back and do something about it.
I think he did. You want to come back and prove a point. And to be honest with you, when I went to Detroit, I didn't leave Detroit on the best of terms. But when we played Detroit in Buffalo in 1997, I wanted to prove a point to Detroit that, hey, maybe he had a couple more years left. But that's the way it goes. That's the natural instincts of any competitor to do that.
We saw James Stewart a moment ago making his way down to the locker room. Knee bruise. We know we won't see him again today. Second down and 12 now. The Lions showing blitz. Charlie Batch from the shotgun. Now Detroit backs off. Batch throws out there. Incomplete. It'll bring up 3rd down. Looking for Lindsey Jackson down the middle of the field.
Well, he had Jackson down in the middle of the field. Now you're in 2-minute drill. You want to kind of keep those receivers in front of you. And I don't care if it's man or zone. You got to understand that you want to stop them from going up the field. You don't need to make a big play now. Keep the receivers in front of you. Tackle them so they have to force to use the timeout or be forced to eat up the clock. That time the receiver was behind him. Can't let that happen. Charlie missed him. That would have been a big play.
3rd down and 12. 43 seconds to go in the first half. Steelers leading 21-13. 3 receivers and 2 backs for Pittsburgh. Batch again from the shotgun. Looking to throw. Pressure coming. Pourcha's got him. Batch stays alive, though. Spins out of it. Now he's going to throw. It's going to be incomplete. Batch was out of the pocket there. Threw it down to the ground. Incomplete, and the Lions are going to get it back.
Take a look at the Health Quest key adjustment brought to you by Health Quest. Robert Pourcha again, to me, has shown there's a club rip. That's a great move. Luther Ellis getting penetration. Robert Pourcha finishing the play and just missed another sack on Charlie Batch. And the key adjustment is that these guys got to continue to get better. They're the best unit on defense. They're the strength of our team. If they play like they do, we'll be in a lot of ball games.
Great punt drives Desmond Howard all the way back to his 19, where he'll call for a fair catch and take it right there. And with 25 seconds to go here in the first half, and the Lions trailing 21-13, that's where Detroit will take over. Mike McMahon will finish up here. We do anticipate seeing Joey Harrington in the second half. Lions with 3 timeouts remaining. They want to try to get something done here in the final 25 seconds.
You know what? Why not? It's preseason, so you risk something. But let's see what your team can do. If you can move the ball possibly in field position, hit a big play down the middle. You don't have to get outside to force a clock because you do have 3 timeouts left. We'll see what happens. That's obviously a decision that Marty's going to make.
We saw the interception there just a couple moments ago, and you saw Joey Harrington, all of which certainly fuels the quarterback controversy here in Detroit. But you have to say this for Mike McMahon. He's played a pretty solid ball game so far today.
You know, he's been the victim of some drop passes and big drops. 1 for a touchdown.
4 receivers for the Lions, 3 to the bottom of your screen, 1 to the top. McMahon's going to throw, sets up the screen as Lamont Warren out there. Warren dives across the 30, gets the first down, gain of 11. And the Lions will take a timeout with 18 seconds to play in the second quarter. And I think this goes back to what you alluded to a moment ago, Chris. That's why not.
Eric Beverly out here on the screen has got to get a block on a defensive back. Hank Poteet does a good job. Now, the one thing that Eric Beverly brings is a little bit more solid run blocker. But last week against Cleveland, we saw Dominic Riola get out in space, and Dominic might have have a better chance to make that block on Hank Poteet. Hank Poteet actually did a great job of saving a big play.
Lions looking for a big play here, trailing. With time working against them in the first half.
Take some shots downfield. 2 timeouts left.
It's Foster, Schrader, and Anderson to the near side. Akeem to the top of your screen. McMahon on first down with time to throw. Looks for Akeem, throws it out there, throws it wide and incomplete. It'll bring up second down now, but more important than that, 14 seconds remaining here in the second quarter.
Yeah, Rodney Bailey, second-year guy out of Ohio State, providing pressure that forced Mike just to pull up and not come through on his throw, which is why maybe that ball was short. He threw off his back foot a little bit, didn't have the opportunity to come through and finish like a pitcher to deliver that strike on the outside corner on the out route.
Well, if you're just joining us and thinking field goal, certainly Jason Hansen had the leg from 51 earlier today, but it hit the upright.
I don't think he has one from 81.
Need a little more help here. McMahon throwing. Got Hakeem at midfield. Hakeem forward to the 49-yard line. A first down for the Lions and a pickup of 20, and quickly they call timeout with 7 seconds remaining.
That's a great shot by Mike McMahon, delivering to Hakeem, getting in the depth behind the linebackers. Pittsburgh's having the same problem. See this guy, you get back here, pal. You got to prevent the field goal. If you're back where you're supposed to be, Hakeem won't make that play. Oz does a good job of securing the catch and getting upfield.
So with 7 seconds to play, if you're thinking field goal, Chris, they're going to need 2 plays. They're going to need to pick up a couple more yards here and then call that last time out and get Jason Hanson out on the field.
Plenty of time, and it's just amazing how you can stretch 25 seconds with 3 timeouts. See right here, that part right there? He's tough. He's mentally tough. That brain of his is tough. He makes mistakes. He doesn't get rattled. He knows he has Joey Harrington breathing down his neck. He doesn't get rattled, comes back and makes a tough throw to Azekim.
Mike McMahon's done a good job here for the Lions today, trying to get something else done before halftime. Detroit down by 8. Again, it's Akeem to the top of the screen. Anderson, Foster, Schrader to the bottom. Needs something quick here. McMahon looks, throws, has Akeem across the 40, down to the 38. Quickly, the Lions will call timeout with 2 seconds to play, and on will come Jason Hanson. 11-yard gain, and that's exactly what the Lions needed.
And it's good for Azekim to get his time and make a tough catch in a crucial situation. Mike McMahon buys himself some time and makes a tough throw. He kind of has to throw across his body on a slant route and does a good job. It's almost a sidearm delivery, but good field awareness, good clock awareness, getting a timeout in by Marty, giving Jason an opportunity. And we all know he has a leg to boot it from 55. He's got to drive it a little bit, so the protection has to be a little more stout than normal because the ball is coming out lower trajectory because it's a long field goal attempt. 57?
It's going to be 57 yards out of the hold of John Jett. Hanson trying to pull the Lions closer here at the end of the first half. Spot down. The kick is up. Do you have the distance? Oh, you bet! Jason Hanson for 57 yards. How about that? How about that?
I'm not too much of a homer. I'm giving him a standing ovation after that one. And it's amazing that Jason can do that. And, you know, that's one of the benefits of playing indoors. When you have the leg strength of Jason Hanson, you can put points on the board from 57. That is strong.
Jason Hanson from 57. I don't know if he had 57 and a half, but he didn't need it.
Didn't need it, you're right.
Let's go down to the sidelines right now. Jennifer Hammond standing by with the head coach, Hammer.
All right, Marty, obviously that was probably now the longest kick in Ford Field history. It had to be a nice way to end the half, but all in all, your impressions of your offense in these first 2 quarters.
Well, with that last kick, Jennifer, we've got a little momentum. Now, offensively, we left a couple touchdowns on the field. We had our second series, we had a touchdown there. Then we had a drop here. So I'm half of me is pleased with the way we executed, but there was probably 3 or 4 plays that we need to make. And then we had another one over here with Scotty. So, but we've executed pretty well with the exception of making the big play.
Defensively, you get a big play, you get a forced turnover, but as well you allow 3 scores.
Yeah, and I've got to get in and figure out how to stop. We've stopped the run pretty well, especially early. Now, they popped a couple on us later in the second quarter, but the bus, now we took care of him pretty well. But we're playing an awful lot of man coverage, and they're separating a little bit, and our pass rush is, you know, almost coulda, woulda, shouldas. That's out. We got to get to the passer.
All right, thanks very much, Coach Marty Morningwig. Good luck in the second half. We'll be back with the halftime highlights and stats, plus a very special interview. William Clay Ford Jr. joins Chris and Dan in the booth when we return with halftime from Ford Field.
Welcome back to the first ever game at Ford Field in downtown Detroit. The Lions trailing the Steelers right now by a score of 21-16. Dan Miller and Chris Spielman with you, and it is an honor to be joined here by the Lions Vice Chairman, Bill Ford Jr. And, you know, Bill, we were down on the field before the game. I saw you walk out, and your eyes were basically just dancing. This has to be just a very proud day for you and your family.
Well, it really is, Dan. You know, rarely does something exceed your expectations, and this place really has. What's really neat is I went and stood out in the atrium when fans were coming in, and I watched their reaction and listened to what they said, and it was that made it all worthwhile. People were just amazed. They were literally amazed when they walked in, and you know, just when I walked down the field, people started cheering, and I mean, it really felt great.
The only problem I have is about 15 years too late.
It might have extended your career a few years, Chris, to play on this surface.
I got to ask you, and because it's an interest to me and me taking pride being a former Lion, what are your expectations for this year's team?
I think we have a lot of talent. We have a lot of speed. I like what we're doing on defense. You know, it's like the old cliche, and I almost hate to say it, if we can stay healthy, I think we'll be okay. I think it really rests on the offense, though. I think defensively we'll be okay. I think our front seven's excellent. I like our safeties a lot.
Agreed.
And if the corners hold up and if the offense gels, we'll be fine.
How about you and I switch jobs? That was great.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you, Bill. I know you're busy, but I know you also talk football. How can you not get involved when you're sitting around the water cooler talking with the guys in this quarterback controversy? It's the talk of the town. And the nice thing is, we talked about with Matt Millen, it's two guys playing well.
Well, it is. And, I mean, we're in a great situation to have two guys. I mean, most teams or many teams are looking for one guy. You know, I love Joey Harrington. He was a great draft pick. You know, and obviously Mike has got tons of ability and is playing very well. So we'll be fine. It'll be interesting to see how the season unfolds. It really, you know. But I am a fan in that respect, and of course I talk about it. And my sons give me their opinion all the time.
All right, well, good stuff, Bill. We very much appreciate it. We're honored to be here. Congratulations to you and your family, the entire organization. I think, as you said, the reviews are unanimous. It is absolutely beautiful in here.
Well, thanks, Dan. And, you know, now we just got to get a few W's on the board, and everything will be fine.
Let's start today, all right?
Thank you.
All right, that's going to do it.
Good
We're going to have much more coming up from halftime from Ford Field right after this, so stay with us.
Welcome back, everyone, to Ford Field. Jennifer Hammond alongside Robert Bailey at halftime, where the Pittsburgh Steelers lead the Detroit Lions by a score of 21-16. And as you heard Marty Morningwig say going in, that late field goal by Jason Hansen certainly gave them a lot of momentum. But let's show you how they got to this point throughout the game, starting with the first quarter. And Robert, the offense came out very strong and looked very good on the opening drive.
Of course, Lessinger, he's a professional all the way around. If he needs to get the yards, he usually gets it.
And he was a little short on the touchdown, but then one play later, Mike McMahon.
Mike McMahon and James Stewart looked good early. James Stewart, even though he left the game with a nick, he sure started out good.
All right, and defensively, the front four forcing pressure up front.
Well, that front four is filled with big guys. Luther on the fumble recovery. These guys are going to do big things this year.
All right, first Jason Hansen, a 37-yard field goal in the first quarter. At that point, the Lions were up 10-0. And then James Stewart gets the ball again.
Hey, James is doing a great job running this year. I think he's like 10 pounds lighter than last year.
All right, and once again, we see some pressure from the front four. Robert Porcher with the first sack in the history of Ford Field.
Robert Porcher and Luther Ellis again. Here we got Mungro, a rookie who's been doing a good job for this team.
All right, and here comes another rookie fighting for a spot at running back as well, Avion Cason.
Yeah, Avion started out a little slow, but he picked it up at the end, getting some good yardage here for the team.
All right, and then Jason Hansen just barely over the uprights and threw them for a 57-yard field goal. And as well, Mike McMahon continued to play out the first quarter.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Half. Mike McMahon here hooking up with Akeem. Jason Hansen's 50-something yard field goal. This guy is playing awesome. Jason, they have a lot of confidence in Jason, and they won't hesitate to put Jason in on a 50-plus yard field goal.
All right, and he certainly is proving that he can kick well inside Ford Field and as well as he did in the Silverdome. All right, we're coming back with the statistics and the second half after the break from Ford Field. And there's a look at the halftime score. The Pittsburgh Steelers on top of the Detroit Lions by a score of 21-16. And there it is. Beautiful downtown Detroit and Ford Field, the new centerpiece, the crown jewel of the downtown area. And welcome back, Jennifer Hammond and Robert Bailey, as we take a look back at the halftime stats in the first two quarters of play here from Ford Field. And the Detroit Lions and Pittsburgh Steelers pretty even on total offensive yards, Robert, but what sticks out at you on this one?
Well, the biggest thing that sticks out is the 80 yards rushing that Detroit has. This defense is doing a big job by stopping the run, especially Bettis. And another thing is the penalties. They have less penalties than Pittsburgh, which is an improvement from last year.
All right, just 2 for 15 yards, and Marty Morningwig's got to be happy about that. But I'm sure he'd like to see his offense get it going in the second half. We'll see Joey Harrington, and we'll have the second half for you with Dan Miller and Chris Spielman when we return to Ford Field.
Back inside of Ford Field, getting ready for second half action. Steelers leading the Lions by a score of 21-16. Jason Hansen helping Detroit's cause with a 57-yard field goal there at the end of the first half. What a huge play. And as Marty Morningwig said going in, that gives him some momentum.
Well, it absolutely does give him momentum, and especially, Dan, you know, Marty talked about this last week and this week. Look, for this team to get over the step or go to the next level, which we all hope it does, when you have an opportunity to make a play, make it. That means do not leave scoring opportunities on the field. Marty said today, going off the field with Jennifer, you can't leave touchdowns on the field. We left 2 on the field, according to his opinion.
Yeah, they definitely did, and there have been a couple of drop passes on top of that, one of which would have been a touchdown, but certainly they did not do Mike McMahon many favors in the first half. McMahon put in a solid effort over the first 30 minutes. I want to remind you that throughout the season, Buddies will once again team with the Detroit Lions Charities to help feed the needy during the 2002 season. For every turnover the Lions force during each preseason and regular season game, Buddies will donate 10 pizzas to the Capuchin Soup Kitchen. Second half kickoff goes to Lee Mays coming up the left sideline. Mays across the 20 to the 25. Open field at the 40, the 45. Mays cuts it back, being chased from behind and finally taken down at the Lions 35-yard line. Lee Mays with a 60-yard return. Ken Philpott finally made the stop and saved a touchdown for the Lions.
I'm watching this on replay, and the one thing that we have to do if you're going to fight for make this football team, you better learn how to get off blocks, especially on kickoff team. Our guys aren't getting off blocks. Jason misses that tackle. I didn't teach him how to tackle that like that, Jason. Philpott does a good job hustling, saving a touchdown.
Steelers take over now, 1st and 10, the 34-yard line. Great field position, leading 21-16. Charlie Batch still the quarterback. We anticipate he'll go the rest of the way for Pittsburgh. Play action fake, rolls, throws, completes to Edwards. Flag comes in late in the secondary. Brian Walker made the stop for Detroit. Gain of 11.
There you go. An eligible man downfield.
So that will come back. And an 11-yard game will come off the books.
Now this is set up off of play action, and guys getting downfield might not have got the audible. And when you see the tight jerseys, that's linemen.
Man downfield, number 60 of the offense.
The tight jerseys.
Repeat first down.
The tight jerseys in the midsection, they all started looking at each other and pointing. Was it you? No, it wasn't me. Was it you? That's when you know that one of those guys committed a foul.
Well, Josh Burr was the guilty party right there. Bill Cowher patrolling those sidelines for the Steelers. Notice how nobody goes near him?
No, he has his space. Especially after penalties. He seems to have more space after penalties.
3 receivers for Pittsburgh now. Batch with Jeremy Tooman, one of his tight ends, and Matt Cushing in motion there. Batch throws out there, looking for Tooman, incomplete. They'll bring up 2nd down now.
No, with the exception of Sean Rogers, the Lions have their first team defense, and they're getting a lot of work today. Kelvin Pritchard got his helmet knocked off, but again, the one thing I want to see the Lions defensive line do on those 3-step drops is hands in the air. That way you have a chance to bat it down because the trajectory is going to be low, obviously because he's thrown from 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage as opposed to a 5 or 7-step drop.
2nd and 15 for the Steelers now. Amos Arroway, the deep back behind Charlie Batch. It's Cushing in motion. Batch to throw. Looking to set up the screen for Zaraway and does. Zaraway inside the 35 to the 30 to the 25. Cuts it outside. Zaraway to the 15, 10. He'll walk in. Touchdown Pittsburgh. 39 yards. The screen from Batch to Zaraway. Zaraway did most of the work there, picking his way through tacklers and scoring the touchdown.
It's just a job of executing. And right there, you'll see Zaraway being patient. Now, he's not getting in front of his guys. He's not running full speed yet. He's letting his blockers develop, makes a great cut right there, then shows a burst and speed that you need to be a back in this league. And again, poor open field tackling. Good job by Robert Hustling, but the safety's got to come up and make a hit and secure the tackle.
The extra point is no good. Joe O'Donnell coming on to try. He doesn't connect, so Pittsburgh's lead is 11, 27-16. We'll take a break and come right back. 1 minute and 1 second into the 3rd quarter. Pittsburgh has scored again.
Detroit Lions football is being brought to you by Buddy's Pizza, Detroit's #1 deep-dished pizza for over 65 years. By ABC Warehouse, the closest thing to wholesale. By Big Boy Restaurants, home of the original Big Boy double-decker hamburger. And by HealthQuest, the leaders in chiropractic care and official chiropractors of the Detroit Lions.
Larry Foster takes the kick. It is 3. Foster picks his way across the 20 out to the 24. That's where the Lions will take over. Matt Cushing making the stop for Pittsburgh.
See, when the headphones are off and the defensive coordinator is talking on down on one knee, that means trouble. That means we're making adjustments. Right there, Kirk Schottenheimer says, look, we can't give up big plays. You come out the second half, you're down. You set the tempo. Pittsburgh took the momentum, stole it right from us after we had it at the end of the first half with the 57-yard field goal.
And the crowd cheers as number 3, Joey Harrington, comes into the game. Harrington last week had a very solid effort, 17 out of 31 for 244 yards and 2 touchdowns. Mike McMahon put in a solid effort in the first half for Detroit as well. Blitz comes on first down. McMahon beats it, gets it out to Scotty Anderson. Anderson with open field ahead. 35-30, being chased from behind. Anderson inside the 10. A huge gain for the Lions. And it first down inside the Pittsburgh 10, 67 yards on the play.
Why is this a big play for a rookie quarterback? One, he recognizes the blitz, where the blitz is coming from, and understanding where to deliver the football. And a big play for that guy right there, Scotty Anderson. Why? Because he made a guy miss after he made the catch. Now, the one thing I like Scotty to do, to have the ability to get the distance, and if he would run like this guy right here, see Joey Harrington, he's going to run the best 40 he's ever run in his life. Chase him down there, congratulate guys. Good job, Joey.
He's got the Lions inside the Steeler 10. First and goal from the 8 now. James Mungro, the deep back behind Harrington. Play action fake. Harrington looks, throws, looking for Ricks. It's going to be picked off. Picked off by Mike Logan, who made the touchdown-saving tackle a moment ago. Now he comes up with a pick for Pittsburgh, and the Lions don't cash in on a big opportunity.
All right, that time he tried to go for it all. First of all, he tried to hit Ricks in the end zone when he had Stephen Trejo right in the flat, wide open. Right here's Trejo. There's not a guy on him. Ricks is covered by Logan. That's a nice hit, Trejo, by the way. But he had Trejo open right in the flat. He tried to force the ball to Ricks, where the defender took the deep cutaway, which obviously in the end zone, he should have gave it to Trejo in the flat, let him turn it up and try to score in the end zone.
We're going to take a break here with the score. Pittsburgh 27 and the Lions 16. We're going to go third quarter. Lions trailing 27-16. Just a moment ago, Joey Harrington throwing the interception.
Yeah, right there. This is where Marty Morningwig excels. Look, he's patient. He understands. He's a young quarterback. He's going to work with him. He didn't throw a nutty on Joey when he came to the sidelines. Explained what he did wrong. He said, listen to Chris up there in the booth. Throw it to Trejo in the flat instead of trying to force it to Ricks in the end zone.
Throw a nutty?
It's getting mad.
I need subtitles. First down and 10 for the Steelers.
I feel like I'm talking to my kids.
Backed up on their own 2. Batch to throw from his own end zone. Complete. Out across the 5 to the 6-yard line. Pick up a 5 for Ron Hayes. So the Steelers pick up a little breathing room right there.
A guy that's been impressive this far as a backup linebacker trying to make this team is Philpott. You'll see right here, not giving up on the play, coming over and finish off the tackle. Nice hustle.
Bring up second down and 5 now.
Chidi Awama had a chance to get him down. He's got to bring him down on first contact. Second guy in, strip ball.
12 and a half to go here at Ford Field in the third quarter. Moving ahead is Ron Hayes, trying to get to the 10. Just shy. It'll bring up third and a long 2. Josh Thornhill making the stop for Detroit.
Free agent linebacker in Michigan State did a nice job of diagnosing the play, stepping up and making a play for a 2-yard gain, sticking his head in there. Fighting for a job.
Absolutely, and I think 2 men that you just mentioned there in the last couple of seconds, Ken Philpott and Josh Thornhill, battling, trying to find a roster spot on this team, and there aren't many to go around. Third down now and 2 for Charlie Batch and the Steelers. Batch gives to Amos Zeraway. Zeraway looking for room, not going to find any. Nice play out there. Coming up with a tackle is Bracy Walker.
If you want to make a football play
football team, I'm so excited about this play that Brayson Walker makes. You do this, you're a corner, and you take on about 700 pounds right there, defeat both of them, come back and make a play behind the line of scrimmage against an elusive back, and you're a corner. Outstanding play.
And that play is going to get the Lions the football back. Burke Dale's in to punt it away for Pittsburgh. Larry Foster deep for the Lions. And that is one lousy punt by Burke Dales. Bounces at the 39. It's going to go out at the 40. A 31-yard punt. I don't think Burke Dales was going to beat out Josh Miller anyway. That's not going to help. Flag down on the play.
There are a limited number of seats left for this coming Thursday.
But it looks like as if it's going to be against the Steelers, and the Lions will take over. They're not going to have to punt that again.
248-645.
Not pretty. Not pretty at all. Lions will take over first and 10.
Look at down there.
Not on the line of scrimmage. Penalties decline. First down.
Looking down there at Bill Cowher. He's yelling at somebody. It's like the water coolers.
If he can't find somebody, he'll just make somebody up. Steelers leading 27-16. Back to Ford Field right after this. Sweet Field. Season tickets are gone. Best way to enjoy the Lions is from a luxury suite. Call 313-262-2220 to reserve your suite now. Scotty Anderson in motion on first down and 10 for the Lions. James Mungro with the call over the right side, inside the 40, down to the 37. Tackled by Mike Logan. Lions pick up 4 on first down. It'll bring up second down and 6.
It's a nice job by Tony Semple getting outside, kicking out the linebacker James Ferrier, and James Mungro setting Tony Semple up, cutting off the block. Good vision, James.
10 minutes, 40 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Steelers leading the Lions 27-16. Lions led at one point in this game, 10-0. Scotty Anderson in motion behind Joey Harrington on second down. Harrington quick drop throws, got his man. Larry Foster inside the 30 to the 26-yard line. Tackled in the secondary by Hank Poteet, but the Lions pick up 12 and a first down.
It's a nice job by Marty Morningway calling the play. They just ran the play the same formation the other way, giving Joey Harrington the opportunity to get play action to slow the pass rush down. Right here, you'll see James Mungro come over this way, set up the play action, deliver the ball to Larry Foster. A strike.
Foster to the near side now. Anderson to the far. Mungro with the call. Hole up the middle. Down to the 20 and met there. The ball comes loose. And it's going to be Pittsburgh's football. James Mungro with a solid run, but a big-time hit there put on by Chris Hope. Jarred the football loose, and the Steelers pick it up. So the Lions offense comes off the field. The defense will have to look for a stop. Detroit trailing by 11. Back with more after this. Secondary.
There is no foul on the play.
All right. Disregard.
Yes.
No flag on the play.
Don't throw it then.
No foul, no flag.
Those guys get a hard time. Can't help it.
Points off turnovers today. As we said, the Lions have turned it over 3 times. Pittsburgh with a touchdown. 7 points off turnovers. The Lions off 1 Steeler turnover today. 3 points. Second down 5 now. Charlie Batch again gives Desir away. Nothing in the middle. Nothing to the left side. And down he goes. Loss of 4 as James Hall did a nice job of boxing him in and wrapping him up.
Until the play was initially made by Jared DeVries. You'll see him right here coming off the corner. Watch Jared taking on blocks. You won't see him in that picture, but right there keeping his feet. Kelvin Pritchard getting penetration. And again, the most impressive unit on this Detroit Lions team to me so far this preseason has been the defensive line. And not just the starters, Dan, but the backups. Tremendous depth. And I believe what you need to succeed in the NFL on defense is to have depth at defensive line.
Nice play by Kalimba Edwards on that last play. Antoine McCray, a rookie out of Toledo, checks in.
Timeout.
But the Lions are going to call timeout.
They're first.
With 8 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the third quarter. Obviously something there they did not like as Charlie Batch brought the Steelers to the line. 27-16, Pittsburgh leads. Right back with more after this. Third down, 8 for the Steelers now, leading 27-16 here at Ford Field. The Lions looking for a stop. They want to get the ball back. Blitz comes. Charlie Batch, pocket holds, throws out there. It's complete. Nice catch by Lee Mays just inside the 40, down at the 39, 18 yards and a first down.
Tracy Walker on the tackle for Detroit.
Jared DeVries nicked up on the play. And I'll tell you, Pittsburgh did a nice job of picking up that blitz. And Charlie Batch showed some veteran presence there of sliding to an open throwing lane. And when you have that kind of time against man-to-man coverage, very difficult to cover people downfield.
As said, Jared DeVries comes off holding his wrist. We're going to report on him as soon as we can. As for the game itself, first down and 10 now for the Steelers. Charlie Batch with the give. Trying the middle right there is Antoine McCray, the rookie out of Toledo. Picks up a couple. It'll bring up second down.
Let's take a look at today's key adjustment brought to you by Health Quest. Now, in order to be successful in this league, you cannot turn the ball over. Not only can you not turn the ball over, but it's where you turn the ball over. And so far the second half, the Lions have turned the ball over inside the red zone, thus giving up scoring opportunities. For them to make a key adjustment, don't turn the ball over when you have opportunities to score.
Amos Zeraway back in the game for Pittsburgh. He's behind Charlie Batch. It's Matt Cushing in motion. Batch, quick throw out to Troy Edwards. Incomplete. Batch underthrew it, and Edwards couldn't come up with it. Bring up third down now and 5 from their own 45.
Big Jonathan Taylor got in there, caused some disruption. Charlie Batch's vision. You see Jonathan Taylor getting a good push, and even though he didn't get pressure, he knocked that offensive tackle into the vision of Charlie Batch. Just throw the ball short, make him hurry.
Third down and 5 now for the Steelers. So far today, Pittsburgh 6 out of 10 on third down conversions.
Yeah, that's too good. You can't be batting 60%.
Batch from the shotgun. Looks, throws, wanted Mays, incomplete. Nice coverage by Chidi Iwama. He's got his hands on the football.
It's a great job of Chidi Iwama, not only with the coverage and knocking the ball down, but you'll see right here that he stands the receiver Mays up at the line of scrimmage right there. Good hands, good fighting. Keep his hands off and cutting off the receiver. That's a great job of getting that collision inside that 5-yard halo area.
Burt Dale's back into punt for Pittsburgh. His first effort was not a memorable one. This one a line drive that Larry Foster takes at his 22, flag down. Foster turning the corner out near the 40 and taken out at the 39. Tackle on special teams by Jeremy Tooman, but again there was a flag down. 33-yard punt, 17-yard return. And indeed it will be against the Lions. So good field position will be wiped out by the penalty.
You know, you got to use your head on special teams. There's good field position, like you said, Dan, and a silly penalty when you get a personal foul on
During
special
the kick,
teams.
unnecessary roughness, number 18, hitting an opponent while he was out of bounds. A 15-yard penalty. Correction, half the distance to the goal. First down.
Eddie Drummond called for the penalty there. Down on the sidelines, he's getting chewed out just a bit by Marty Morningwig.
It's a little different when you're a wide receiver rookie as opposed to a quarterback rookie when you come over to see Marty Morningwig and your #1 draft choice. You don't get chewed out when you're #1. When you're fighting for a roster spot and you make a personal foul, you get chewed out.
Eddie Drummond, a free agent out of Penn State, who has made an impression. You see the penalties there. The Lions 3 for 26 yards today. First down, Joey Harrington to throw, gets it out to Stephen Trejo. Trejo across the 15 to the 16. Pick up a 4 before James Ferrier makes the stop.
It's good patience by Joey Harrington, and what I like about him, and Pittsburgh's testing him. Why? Because they're bringing blitzes and they're doing zone blitzes. What I mean by a zone blitz is you'll see guys from 2 outside linebackers come, and Joey recognizes that Ferrier's slow on his coverage, delivers the ball to Trejo, staying patient under pressure.
Second down, 5 now for the Lions. Matt Murphy in motion. The give on the delay is to Avion Cason. Cason gets up near the 18. Give him 1. It'll bring up third down.
Handoff to number 31.
Brett Kiesel making the stop for Pittsburgh.
You're in a manageable third down, though. You're 3rd and 4. That gives the opportunity for the offense to succeed. If you can get 3rd 3, 3rd and 4 all day, you would take that as a head football coach. On 3rd down situations, of course.
Lamont Warren checks in. Eddie Drummond and Larry Foster, the receivers, to the near side. McKenzie and Anderson to the far. Harrington with Lamont Warren behind him. Harrington throws out there. Wanted McKenzie, overthrew him, incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down.
They had McKenzie open. McKenzie ran a nice little option route. Joey almost looked like he rushed that one a little bit, where he showed patience under pressure. That time he was in a hurry to get the ball to McKenzie when he had time to let him get some distance between he and the defender.
John Jett set to punt it away. He'll be inside his own 5. Troy Edwards back deep for Pittsburgh. Nice punt by John Jett. Drives Edwards all the way back to his 25-yard line. Flag down. Edwards goes down at the 35. That was a very nice punt by John Jett, though. 55 yards on the punt. 6 on the return by Troy Edwards.
Yeah, you're going to see the same penalty on the Steelers that you saw in the Lions' last punt, where they hit the guy while he was out of bounds. You cannot have contact with the hawk or the gunner, whatever you want to call the outside guy that covers punts, while he's out of bounds.
So that will back the Steelers up. Right now, we'll swing it down to the sidelines and check in with Robert Bailey, who is standing by with Terry Fair. Robert.
How you doing, Dan? I'm here with Terry Fair, actually the leader of this defense with 14 pass defenses last year. Terry, coach wanted to bring you back really slow after you hurt your toe. He said he'd give you 14 plays on the field. How do you feel about that, and how did you do in those 14 plays?
I felt pretty good coming in. Coming in this morning, you know, I had kind of mixed emotions about everything, but as I got out here pregame, I felt pretty good, and you know, just getting out there and mixing it up again and getting the chance to get back out on the field, you know, really meant a lot, and felt pretty good, and you know, played pretty well out there in the limited time I was in. So, you know, right now, I'm just looking for bigger and better things.
Okay, Terry, we're hoping you do give us bigger and better things. Dan, back to you.
Okay, Robert, thank you very much. The give over the left side is to Antoine McCray. He doesn't get much. Nice tackle by Antoine Lake. No gain on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10. Steelers backed up now on their own 13-yard line.
Antoine Lake.
It's important to have a healthy Terry Fair. You need depth at corner. Not does it only affect your regular defense, but the more corner cover people you have, the more options you are presented, especially in your nickel and dime defense as far as playing man or zone.
Steelers with 2 receivers and a tight end split out to the right side now. Charlie Batch still the quarterback. Expect to see him the rest of the way. Give this time is to McCray. McCray with some room out across the 15, close to the 18. Pickup of 6. It'll bring up 3rd down and 5. Josh Thornhill making the stop for Detroit.
Thornhill and Chris Cash on the stop for Detroit.
I want to remind you folks, there are a limited amount of single game tickets available for the Lions' last preseason game against the Bills at Ford Field. Call Ticketmaster now at 248-645-6666. Log on to the internet at www.detroitlions.com. The game, of course, this coming Thursday night. Right here, though, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Charlie Batch throwing, knocked away. Nice play by Chris Cash, defending the pass. And the Steelers are going to have to give it back. Nice play by the rookie out of Southern Cal.
And I saw Marty Morningwing out there giving him a high five. And I'll tell you why this is a good play, because he stays patient in his coverage. He doesn't look at the quarterback, look back at the quarterback until he needs to. Looks and leans, feeling that wide receiver and able to get a hand on the ball. Right there, Marty, high five. Hey, that's nice when your head coach comes out and gives you a high five when you're a corner.
Chris Cash has done the job so far in the preseason. He has impressed his coaching staff. Burt Dales with another pretty lousy punt. Larry Foster tries to field it at his 42, dances around, dives out to the 48-yard line. 40-yard punt on a line drive, 6-yard return. Tackled by Eric Trotton on special teams for Pittsburgh.
It's a good job by Larry Foster of keeping that ball in front of him, even knocking it down, knowing he had time because it was a line drive kick. Pick it up field and get positive yardage, because if he wouldn't have fielded or knocked it down, it would have rolled for about another 10 or 15 yards, thus not having the field position that he created by making the play and securing the football.
They do have good field position at their own 48-yard line. Joey Harrington trying to get something going. Lions trailing by 11. Harrington to pass on first down. Looks, got it to Foster inside the 35. Foster down to the 32. Deshae Townsend makes the tackle for Pittsburgh. But a 19-yard gain for the Lions.
That's a great shot by Joey Harrington again. Now he's looking downfield. Now the one thing he does a little different than Mike is he'll look off the other way, then know where his receiver is and deliver strikes. And that's a big-time throw right there because he had to put some heat on that football. Larry Foster does a nice job of securing a catch, even when a guy's trying to rip it out of his hands.
Foster stays in the game. He's the bottom of your screen. In the slot, Scotty Anderson. Again, Harrington to throw. Looks, going out there. Wants Anderson at the 5. Touchdown, Lions.
Run, Joey. Run, Joey.
Joey Harrington
high five.
to Scotty Anderson. 33 yards and a score. And the Lions are going to go for 2, trailing 27-22 right now.
Two things I like about it. First of all, he puts air on it, lets Scotty Anderson run under it, and he knew where the weakness of the coverage was on a blitz. Scotty Anderson beats his man, gets to the corner of the end zone, secures the catch. Joey does a nice job of letting Scotty run under it as opposed to forcing one in there.
So trailing by 5, the Lions will go for 2 to try to pull within a field goal. Harrington to throw. Looks, wants Kason. Incomplete. Kason out in the secondary at the goal line, but Harrington really didn't have anywhere to go at that point with Kason and threw it away.
I'll tell you, Dan, the more I look at him, the better he gets week in and week out because of his recognition of pro defenses. Now, there were talk a little bit about he's only been thrown against 2 deep zones. So far, the Pittsburgh Steelers are throwing man coverage, zone blitzes, and regular zones at him, and he seems to recognize where to go with the football no matter what defense is thrown at him.
That last scoring drive, quick and to the point. 2 plays, 52 yards, 46 seconds. Of course, the touchdown pass from Joey Harrington to Scotty Anderson. And just to expand upon your point, if you're a head coach, that's what you want to see. You want to see a young quarterback and whether or not he can recognize all of these different defenses.
And he's getting a test today because Pittsburgh is getting ready for their opening season. We talked about the importance of the 3rd preseason game. They want to throw a little of their blitz packages in to see where they are. Joey's recognized this and delivering the ball to the open receiver by recognizing what the defense is doing and understanding the weakness of the defense and the weakness of the coverage and doing it without hesitation. That's what I'm impressed with.
All right, now this is our 7th game together, Chris, counting last year. So far, all told, we have 1 victory between us. It'd be nice to see number 2 here today. And Marty Morningwig knows that a win would be important for this football team, too. You need to build an attitude of winning.
And in this building, because this can be the greatest home field advantage in the NFL if we put a winner on. Because playing in Detroit, they say it's Hockey Town, USA, and I can understand that, but it's a football city. It's the only place in America where you can put 65,000 here, 100,000 in Ann Arbor, and 80,000 in East Lansing on the same weekend.
65,000 to sell out here today. Troy Edwards takes the kickoff from Jason Hanson, not going to get back to the 20. Stopped at the 19. Chidi Awama making the tackle on special teams for Detroit. A 16-yard return.
A great job by Chidi Awama hustling down. A nice job by Jason Hanson hanging that ball up there. Anytime you can get a stop inside the 20, that's a win for your kickoff coverage unit.
So that's where Pittsburgh will take over. 1st and 10. Leading by 5.
This guy right here has matured a lot from last year to this year. Could be a factor in the offense. Major factor.
Charlie Batch still the quarterback for Pittsburgh. Antoine McCray, the deep back behind him. Batch to pass on 1st down. Throws, gets it out there to McCray. McCray across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Pickup of 2. Ken Philpott makes the stop for Detroit. It'll bring up 2nd down and 8.
And when you're playing zone, you're going to let these guys catch the ball underneath. That's fine. When they catch the ball, come up and make a play, just like Ken Philpott does right there. He does a good job of breaking the ball while the ball's in the air. Doesn't break after the guy catches it.
2 receivers to the left side now for Pittsburgh. facing a 2nd and 8. McCray gets the call. Finds a hole, moves through it, gets across the 25 to the 26, pickup of 6. It'll bring up 3rd down and short. Lamar Campbell and Ken Philpott teaming up to stop McCray there.
See the play right here. Josh Thornhill getting in there, getting off blocks. Ken Philpott again, impressive of running around. That's the guy that stood out to me. Stood out in the Baltimore game, not so much last week, but today he's making plays, not only in the run, but also the pass.
2 minutes, 20 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. The first ever NFL game at Ford Field. Charlie Batch out of the shotgun, but before that play can go, the officials blow their whistles, and it's dead. Looks like that one will be against the Steelers.
Well, huge mental error by Pittsburgh.
Prior to the snap, false start, 79 offense, 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
You go from dictating to the defense what you want to do by being in the 3rd and 2 with a run and threat both has an option, with the run and pass both as an option. Now you're 3rd and 7, more than likely going to throw the ball.
That'll make it now 3rd down and 7. Batch will have to operate from the shotgun. Needs a little more than he did a moment ago. Batch under some pressure, running out of it now. He's going to keep the football and come up short of the 1st down. A terrific play out there by Josh Thornhill.
Yeah, Josh Thornhill needed a big game, and so far he's playing well. And you said it right, a terrific play because it defeats a blocker, comes off and makes a great open field tackle, nailing Charlie Batch before he gets to the down markers.
That'll make it 4th down, and the Lions are going to get it back. Eddie Drummond now goes deep for Detroit. Burt Dales to punt it away again for Pittsburgh, and he has had an inconsistent day, to put it mildly. Dales with a punt, his best of the day. Drummond will take it at his own 27. Drummond to the 35, to the 40. Look out, spins at the 45. Almost to midfield, and he'll go down right there. Special teams tackled by Lindsey Jackson, but a 45-yard punt and a 20-yard return for Eddie Drummond sets Detroit up with terrific field position.
Great job by Eddie Drummond of seeing an opening and hitting it. And I'm going to tell you what, Chris Cash does a great job outside on Pittsburgh's gunner because he was one-on-one. That gunner didn't even get a sniff of the football. That's great special teams play all around by the Lions punt return unit.
Well, folks, Ford Field, the new home of the Detroit Lions, will host its first ever entertainment event Thursday, September 5th, benefiting the Children's Center. Impact at Ford Field, an entertainment extravaganza featuring guest stars like Gladys Knight and Deborah Gibson. Tickets are $25 through Ticketmaster or www.impactatfordfield.com. Le'Veon Cason takes the swing pass on 1st down across midfield, down close to the 45, pickup of 6 to bring up 2nd down.
Again, the poise of Joey Harrington. That time they ran the play action pass. You'll see it right here, the fake the play action. He's going to go over here for the slant. Slant's not there. I'm going to go to my 3rd option, give him the football, let him get downfield.
2nd down and 4.
Nice little play action. My 1st option's not there. Hey, there's my 2nd option. Let's get 6 yards.
Inside of a minute to play here in the 3rd quarter. Lions trailing by 5. Harrington gives this time to Cason. He's got the 1st down near the 40-yard line. Larry Foote makes the stop for Pittsburgh, but not before Cason can pick up 7 and move the chains.
Yeah, Victor Rogers does a nice job of caving that whole side of the defensive line down, giving Cason the ability to cut back and hit the hole. Watch Victor Rogers right here. Come down and knock these people down inside. Get him in there, Victor. That's it. Push them all in there. That a boy. Good job. Good job, Cason, recognizing where the hole is, hitting the cutback and bursting through the hole.
He should play the final play of the 3rd quarter. If they get it off, they do. Harrington wants to throw, wanted all of it. Down he goes. Pocket collapsed right there, tackled by Brett Kiesel. Harrington was looking deep right there for Eddie Drummond, but instead down he goes. And there's an injured Lion down on the field. We'll get you an update on that when we come back. Lions trailing 27-22 here at Ford Field. Victor Rogers being helped off the field, went down just a moment ago. I think we get a pretty good idea of what happened off this replay.
Yeah, you'll see right here he gets swung around and Victor Rogers has no chance. He can't protect himself because he doesn't see the tackler falling on the back of his legs. And Dan, that's the most common way offensive linemen in the NFL get hurt, is people falling on their legs. And really, it's nothing they can do about it. That's why they wear those knee braces, to at least limit the damage if damage is done.
Looks like an injury to his left leg. We'll get you an update on that just as soon as possible. Meanwhile, we'll begin the fourth quarter. Lions down 5. Joey Harrington throwing. Looking out there for McKenzie. Incomplete, but a flag comes in late in the secondary. Looks like it'll be pass interference against Pittsburgh.
Pass interference, number 40, defense. Penalizing the spot of the foul and a first down.
Actually, it's not a bad job by Eason. We got there a little early.
Third quarter stats, you look there. Passing, the Lions 261 yards through the air today. Total offense 360 yards.
That's impressive right there, 261 yards. Both guys, again, having a pretty decent day.
But Detroit trailing by 5. Joey Harrington play action fake, and down he goes. Pursued and caught by Eric Totten, who was coming on a blitz.
Well, this time Joey didn't have a chance to recognize the blitz. Eric Totten does a good job. He didn't have a chance to get out of the play. We're going to run the play action here. He's on block coming in. Joey has no chance to pick him up in his vision to deliver the football. Did a smart thing there. Ate the ball, took the sack. Still have field position.
Loss of 9. It'll make it second down 19 now for the Lions. James Mungro, the back, behind Joey Harrington. 2 receivers to the top of your screen, 2 to the bottom. Harrington to throw. Looks, throws it out there. Throws it complete to Eddie Drummond. Not much of a gain on the play. Still going to be third down and long now.
This is a situation now, you got to be careful on the play calling. Look, you want to try to get the first down, obviously. If you don't, you want to try to pick up enough yardage to give Jason Hanson a legitimate shot at making a field goal. Legitimate, I mean, for Jason, is 50 yards and in. And obviously, we know he has a leg to kick one from 57, but you don't feel like you have to get them all the yards.
You saw the frustration on Joey Harrington's face there with the play clock down to 10 seconds. He's got to call timeout, come over to the sidelines and talk about it. Third down 18 facing the Lions. We'll see what they come up with when we come back. Back at Ford Field, Steelers leading the Lions 27-22. Detroit faced with a 3rd and 18 here. Joey Harrington needs a little bit of magic so far today. Detroit 3 out of 9 on third down conversions. Harrington to pass, pocket holds, looks, sets it up, gets it to Lamont Warren. Warren at the 30, down to the 25, diving for the first down. It is going to be very, very close. They needed to get to about the 23. They picked up 18. Chris Hope made the stop for Detroit. I think they're going to have to measure this one.
That's all on John Fiala, the middle linebacker for the Steelers. Look, they're in cover 2. Everybody's getting depth. They don't want to give up the stakes. Now, when they dump it off, either you have to have your defensive lineman hustle downfield to make the play from behind, or your linebacker has to come up and make a one-on-one tackle. A little slow breaking on the ball. Came up a little short.
And it will be just short. And as you like to say, Chris, you don't even think about it in the preseason, do you?
No, you got to go for it. Not only you go for it, you test your short yardage offense, you test the toughness of your offensive line. One decision to look for here, though, you might want to try to draw them off because they know to stop a short yardage play, they got to get off the ball quick. You might want to try a hard count, see how Joey does in that situation.
Looks like the Lions will need less than a foot to pick up the first down here. Thinking touchdown, trailing by 5. With 13:29 to go in the game.
I'm a big fan of the quarterback sneaking his less than the foot situations.
Well, they have Lamont Warren in the backfield behind Harrington. Harrington takes the snap. There's your sneak, and there's your first down.
I'm going to tell you why, Dan. Especially when you see a natural bubble somewhere between the guards and center. There's usually a natural bubble in the defense. You find where that natural bubble is. You go ahead and run a sneak, just like Joey did there. Smart call by Marty again.
the crowd appreciates it. Big cheers here inside of Ford Field. 65,000 tickets sold for today's game. There were some empty seats, but most of the folks turned out to get a good look.
Yeah, good job by Dominic Riola there, getting low and getting penetration, winning the pad level battle, getting enough movement for Joey to fall forward for the first down.
Lions looking to go ahead in this game. 12.5 to go. Harrington on the delay gives to Mungro. Mungro works his way down to the 20. Chris Hope makes the stop. Gain of a couple there. It'll bring up second down.
And here, James protecting that football after fumbling one on the 40. And the guy, he got a little bit of payback there. Chris Hope was the guy that knocked the ball out of him. That time he met Chris Hope and knocked Chris Hope back. And a way to run, James. Way to come back.
2nd and 8 now. 2 receivers to the left side. It's Foster at the top of your screen and Drummond. McKenzie and Anderson down below. Again to Mungro, nowhere to go. Met right at the line of scrimmage by Chris Hoke. Nothing there. It'll bring up 3rd down and 8.
They did there. They brought 4 wides in to try to get the defense to spread out so they can run the ball and have more options inside. The only problem is Pittsburgh didn't cooperate. Why? They brought their 2 defenders that were covering the inside receivers on a blitz, thus closing down all the running lanes. You got to cooperate over there, Pittsburgh, when we do that.
Well, they're not one of the best defenses in the entire National Football League for nothing.
They're uncooperative, that's right.
Joey Harrington here facing a 3rd down and 8. Backs are split behind him. Harrington to throw, looks, throws it out there from Mungro, incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down. Nigel Eason in coverage. And this time Jason Hanson will come out of the field to attempt a field goal.
Well, watch Joey Harrington now. He held in college, and Marty said he wanted to take a look at how he would hold in a game. This is a good time. It's a 4th quarter. It's a little pressure situation. Not that he's going to be the holder for Jason during the regular season, but just in case something would happen to John Jett, they're not lost.
This is going to be about a 38-yard kick. First time we have seen Joey Harrington hold as a Lion. There's the snap. Harrington gets it down. Jason gets it away, but it's no good. Missed it to the left, and the Lions come up empty, trailing 27-22. We'll take a break and come right back to Ford Field after this.
Before you
the jersey, he's got the shoulder pads, he's got everything, man.
Well, you know what? If you got a little eye black in there, right there, eye black on his there, and a neck roll right there, you'll be ready to go. Go get him, Chris.
Yeah, no shortage of 54 jerseys anywhere.
Hey, new holder.
In Detroit.
Good job, nice hold. Laces out, Fickle. That's from Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. Laces were out, Harrington. Good hold.
But they come up empty. 2 out of 4 today for Jason Hanson. Pitch to Veron Hayes. Check that. The pitch to Antoine McCray, looking for anywhere to go. Can't find much. That play looked doomed from the start. They still gained a yard. France Clemens making the stop for Detroit.
Not a bad job by McCray of turning something that could have been a disaster into something positive.
Rookie out of Toledo trying to make this football team. Not easy when you have Jerome Bettis, Amos Saraway, and Chris Fuamatu Ma'afala playing in front of you. 2nd down 9 now for Charlie Batch and the Steelers, leading by 5 here at the inaugural game at Ford Field. Batch in trouble, gets out of it, throws. This time he's got McCray open across the 40 to the 44. The gain on the play of 15 and a 1st down for Pittsburgh.
Well, they go to an empty set right here, and Charlie doesn't panic. You know you got to deliver the ball quick. Charlie finds a throwing lane. That's what quarterbacks do. They'll find the throwing lane and not panic. When you're not a running quarterback, and Charlie's never been confused for Gale Sayers, but they'll find this opportunity to buy time to throw the football.
Inside of 10 minutes to go here. Ray gets the call again. Steady dose of work. This time Jeff Gooch comes in to make the stop.
Good job by Jeff Gooch diagnosing the run and hitting it inside right here. See? Hey, good. He beats the blocker. The blocker couldn't get off the double team. Jeff Gooch sneaks inside, secures the tackle. He's going to be a valuable player for them, not only in certain situations as a linebacker, but a special teams player.
Call it a loss of 1. It'll bring up 2nd down and 11 now. John Allred in motion. Batch under big pressure, throws it away, but Travis Kershke was coming after him. Right now for an injury update, let's swing it down to the field and Robert Bailey. Robert.
Took him to the locker room. He has a separated shoulder. They're going to hold him out. They don't know how severe it is, but they're going to hold him out for the rest of the game for precautionary reasons.
All right, Jared DeVries with a separated shoulder. We saw him coming off holding his arm at his side earlier today. So that not good news for the Lions. You don't like to hear that along the defensive line.
No, it's not. He's a good, solid player, a guy that can give you valuable minutes off the bench.
3rd down 11 now for Batch and the Steelers. The Lions looking for a stop. Batch under pressure, dancing out, and he's not going anywhere. Batch taken down at the 42-yard line. That'll be a loss on the play and bring up 4th down. Travis Kershke and John Taylor both there to apply the pressure.
And Travis Kershke's been impressive to me all preseason. A guy that's very active from his inside position. It's a good stop by the Lions. Now they can hopefully get some good field position and make something happen.
Eddie Drummond back deep once again for Detroit. The Lions are looking to make something happen. Josh Miller's come back on to punt. And that one, however, will not count.
Good thing.
Flags down. It was a heck of a punt. Yeah. Drove Drummond back inside his own 5.
A neutral zone infraction. Number 46, defense. Movement into the neutral zone that caused the offense to false start. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 4th down.
That's a new rule this year. Now, it used to be you can go in the neutral zone and get back out before the ball was snapped. Now, if you go in the neutral zone, it's an automatic flag.
John Wayridge with the penalty called against him right there. So once again, Josh Miller will line up to punt. Once again, Drummond is back deep. Miller with a high punt this time. Drummond calls for the fair catch at around his 15 and takes it right there. That's where the Lions will take over. Still trailing by 5 here at Ford Field. 27-22, 8:32 to play. Back with the offense on the field right after this. Our thanks to the folks at Goodyear for today's overhead shots. On September 5th, Goodyear will bring 4 blimps together in Akron, Ohio for the first time in almost 40 years to celebrate the christening of their newest airship, the Spirit of America. And with good weather, all 4 blimps will visit Detroit on September the 8th. So look for that. First down, Joey Harrington throwing, looking for Drummond, incomplete. Hit him in the hands, but he couldn't hang on.
That's one that he's got to bring in. Joey had to throw a little mustard on that. A little hot, but still. That's the 6th drop pass that I have unofficially today.
Marty Morningwig talked at halftime about how the Lions had left a couple of touchdowns out on the field. Certainly drop pass is one of the reasons. 2nd down 10 now for Harrington and the Lions. This time they'll keep it on the ground. Avion Caisson's got nowhere to go. Loss of 2. Will Boughton doing a good job of getting through the line of scrimmage and making the stop.
You ain't kidding, doing a good job. And that's what we talk about as linebackers. You never want to give 1 for 1. That means don't take a blocker and take yourself out of the play. That time Boughton took the blocker and also made the tackle. Excellent play.
Lions so far today, 3 of 11 on 3rd down. They need 12 here to move the chains. McKenzie and Drummond to the near side, Mitchell to the far. Harrington looks, throws, middle of the field, wants Mitchell. Bit too long, incomplete, and that'll bring up 4th down. So the Lions with another opportunity that gets away, and with 7:43 to go.
It's not a bad idea. Didn't miss by much. 3 guys around him. You might think there might have been another guy open with 3 on 1 guy. And I watched him that time. That time he was locked in only on his first option, which was Mitchell running takeoff down the middle of the field.
Harrington today 8 out of 13 for 160 yards, a touchdown and an interception. Nice punt by John Jett. Drives Troy Edwards back to his own 34. Now he circles around back to the 45. Near midfield, down at the 49. 51-yard punt, 14-yard return. Corey Schlesinger making the tackle on special teams. But Pittsburgh has good field position to start their drive.
That's a valuable asset right there, Corey Schlesinger. Not only is he a valuable contributor at fullback, but he's also on the kickoff coverage team and punt coverage team. Good, solid football player.
In just a bit, we will name our National City Player of the Game, so stick around for that. Right now, the Lions are trying to come up with a victory in this one, trailing by 5 with 7.5 to go. Charlie Batch, the pitch to McCray. McCray leaps one tackler and goes across the 50, picks up 4.
Jazz Murphy did a pretty good job there. He's got there on the field out there late. Didn't know what to do on defense. Sometimes that's the best thing. Eliminate the clock, go out and play. He came out there, ran out there late, lined up, shed the blocker, made the play.
Comes back to the phrase that Robert Bailey introduced us to in the first preseason game. Yep. See ball, get ball.
See ball, get ball. That's sometimes it's that simple.
2nd down 5 now. Pittsburgh at the Detroit 47. Batch is going to throw, stops, looks, got it out there, incomplete. Lee Mays making the catch inside the 30 to the 29, pickup of 18.
Dan, anytime you see those deep square ends and safeties behind, that's linebackers not getting enough depth. You see Charlie Batch right here. Understand, look, he looked at his first option, one there, knowing he's going to deliver the hit and make a nice throw to Hayes over top the linebackers, underneath the safeties.
Charlie Batch so far today, 6 out of 11 for 98 yards. Got Pittsburgh in good shape right here. 1st and 10 at the Lions 29. Steelers already leading by 5.
We got to start looking at the clock now. It's under 6:20.
Batch with the give to McCray. McCray not much of anywhere to go, and he'll go down right there. Antoine McCray's going to lose 4. Abdul Howard, one of a number of tacklers in there for Detroit, doing a nice job.
It's Kurt Schottenheimer anticipating run, comes with a run blitz where you bring Abdul Howard up on the line of scrimmage, and on snap the ball, gets penetration, secures the tackle. Good call, Kurt.
Abdul Howard's made a couple of solid plays for this team during the preseason as well. I would say this looks to be one of the better crop of free agents, young free agents the Lions have brought in. Now, not all of them are going to play at this level, but some of them made plays during the preseason.
But they're making it tough on coaches of which guys to let go, which is what you want on your free agents. Create competition.
2nd and 14, Batch rolling right, throws it out there, got it complete. Caught out there by Lindsey Jackson inside the 15.
This is a designed waggle route. What Charlie will do is run to the sidelines, set up and look for a square in about 12 yards downfield. And when you do that and you play a zone coverage, the underneath coverage has to adjust with the quarterback. You got to stay in line with him to eliminate those throwing lanes. That time Charlie did a good job of getting outside, delivering the football.
Well, leading by 5 with less than 5 minutes to play, the Steelers are doing a good job of keeping the clock moving and moving the chains at the same time. Batch's numbers so far right there. This time it pitches to McCray, wide open at the 5. McCray down to the 1. Pickup on the play of 13 yards. France Clemens finally stopping McCray, but Pittsburgh right now looking like they're going to take control of this ball game.
Yeah, they're starting to win the battle up front on the line of scrimmage right here, and they're going to see Josh Thornhill getting off the block, does a nice job. Now you got to see right there, you got to get that head across the bow.
Well, Pittsburgh right there went no huddle and dives across for the touchdown. It's Charlie Batch taking it in himself. So Pittsburgh crossing up the Lions right there. I don't think they expected them to come no huddle in that situation. And they score right off the bat. Take another look.
Look, everybody's trying to line up. Where am I going to go? Where am I going to go? Right here. Right there's the opening. Charlie just sneaking in. He sees that. He's a smart guy. Snap of the ball, you got to be lined up, ready to play. So no chance. If you're not lined up, you don't have a chance.
Steelers will look to add the extra point right here. Joe O'Donnell on. His kick is up, and it's good. So O'Donnell 1 out of 2 on extra points today. And Pittsburgh now leads 34-22 4 minutes, 18 seconds for the Lions to put together some sort of comeback. They'll get the ball back when we come back.
Before line defense, you don't get him in the ball game. You line up and go, no, hold on, sneak it in. Charlie's a veteran, understands the weakness of the defense, sees people run around, just runs to sneak in. Good job by the Steelers.
Charlie Batch 2 out of 2 passing on that drive for 41 yards. Joe O'Donnell with the kickoff. Avion Kason takes it at about his 9. Kason back to the 20, the 25 to the 30, still going. Avion Kason across the 40 and across the 45, so the Lions will have good field position. Lindsey Jackson finally made the stop on special teams for Pittsburgh, but a 37-yard return for Detroit.
It's a good job by Avion Kason. You start to see guys that are playing in desperation of trying to make a football team. He does a great job of breaking tackles and getting upfield, creating field position. Now you want to go to your 4-minute drill, which is just like your 2-minute drill.
Only double.
Yeah, you put a 4 in front of it.
The Lions need points. They need them in a hurry, trailing by 12. Need a couple of touchdowns in this game. Avion Kason will stay in at running back, along with Stephen Trejo there behind Joey Harrington. Kason this time split wide. The pass is out there to Drummond. Drummond turns the corner. Nice move to get inside the 35 and down to the 33. Pick up on the play of 21 yards and a first down for Detroit.
Having the ability to recognize matchups. When you have a wide receiver lined up in the backfield like Eddie Drummond matched up against Will Boughton, you're going to win that battle.
Harrington quickly gets him to the line, throws it out there. Again, it's complete to Drummond. That'll bring up second down now. Gain on the play of 5. Lions operating in a hurry here, needing a couple of scores, trailing by 12. 3.5 to go. Kason takes the handoff inside the 30 to the 25. 3rd down and 2 coming up. Chris Hope makes the stop for Pittsburgh.
Got time, get poised, line him up, Joey.
Harrington calling out the signal. Finally, as everybody's set, here we go. Harrington throws incomplete. Looking for McKenzie. That'll bring up 4th down now.
Yeah, it's a 7th drop pass unofficially that I have. Again, it's a big play because you're in the red zone. You have an opportunity to get out of 4th down, put yourself in 1st down. You got to make the catch if the ball hits your hands.
Once again, no decision to be made here. The Lions, needing 2 touchdowns, have to go for it with 3:02 to go in the game. Joey Harrington, a quick conference with Marty Morningweg. Back out on the field he comes. Harrington's numbers right there. The number he's thinking about right now, though, is 3, as in 4th and 3. Harrington pump fake, now looks, going for McKenzie, overthrows him and incomplete. Well, it was right there, but Joey Harrington overthrew McKenzie. Could have been a touchdown, but just like that, the Lions have to give it back to the Steelers on downs.
Well, in preseason, you're going to make that call. In the regular season, you want to get the 1st down. It was a good call on 4th down in preseason because why? You want to make Pittsburgh think you're going to go for the 1st down, you go for the touchdown. But that was a good job of coverage by Eason, not biting on the hitch route.
Lions with 1 timeout remaining. 2:57 left on the clock. Pittsburgh's probably going to do everything it can here to just keep that clock moving. McCray again is the deep back for the Steelers. He'll get the call. McCray hanging on to that football. Came loose for a second. Are they going to say he was down? Yes, indeed they will. Pittsburgh will keep it. Chaz Murphy wrapping him up there.
It's good awareness by Chaz Murphy, understanding the urgency to get the ball back and not only securing the tackle, but also trying to strip the ball.
A little bit earlier, our AOL question, we asked you how much of an advantage is home field, as in Ford Field for the Lions. Your answer? A big advantage, 37%. Some advantage, 30%.
That would be if we do this. If we get W's, it'll be a huge advantage. If we don't, it's going to be like playing anywhere else.
Does not look like they will come up with one today. Moving down towards the 2-minute warning again. McCray, little opening over the right side, picks up 1. Josh Thornhill stops him there. That'll bring up 3rd down. And we have reached the 2-minute warning here at Ford Field Lions trailing Pittsburgh by a score of 34-22. Back with more right after this.
Timeout.
Ford Field, the Lions trailing the Steelers 34-22. Bookkeeping error there. Move down to the 2-minute warning. The officials had actually put 3 seconds back on the clock. Allowing Pittsburgh to run another play, so that brings up 4th down now.
You know, in a preseason, considering all things,
why would be your question?
Yeah, well, one thing with this guy right here, Marty wants to see now, he gets another opportunity to see his young rookie quarterback handle a no-huddle offense in a 2-minute situation. So ideally, he's getting good practice for him.
Lions football has been brought to you by your 31 Metro Detroit Ford dealers. Think Ford first. By America Online, so easy to use, no wonder it's #1. By Comerica Bank, we listen, we understand, we make it work. By Pepsi, the joy of Pepsi. By Ford Motor Company, Ford, no boundaries. And by National City Bank and its 30,000 employees who care about doing what's right for you.
You know, it's interesting. A little bit earlier, Pittsburgh had converted 6 out of 10 third down conversions. They just failed again right there. When we gave you that number 6 out of 10, you said that had to improve.
Well, that was too good.
Well, since then, they're 0-5. So, Chris Spielman, you still have an impact on their defense.
I sent him a telepathic message.
Still have
Get
an
off the
impact
field
on
on 3rd downs,
defense.
please.
Eddie Drummond back deep for the Lions. As Pittsburgh's going to punt it away, Josh Miller in to do the honors. 1:58 to play here at Ford Field, the first ever game. This $500 million structure downtown. Punt looked like it might have been partially blocked. It's down. The Lions are going to get it right at their own 46, a 23-yard effort. The Lions will have good field position here, but they need a lot, a whole lot, trailing by 12 with 1:48 to go.
Again, since this is a practice and we want to win the ball game, okay, we're in dire straits right now, but you're getting an ideal situation for your rookie quarterback to gain valuable experience running a 2-minute drill in the 4th quarter.
Well, he's going to get a chance right here. 1:48 to go, no timeouts remaining. Joey Harrington's going to really need to make some magic here for the Lions. Harrington on 1st down, looks, throws, got it out there, it's complete. Looks like Matt Murphy with the reception. Cross midfield inside the 45 to about the 44.
That's a good job by Murph holding on to that football.
Clock continues to tick. 1st down and 10 for the Lions. Again, Harrington to throw. Gets it to Trejo this time. Another 1st down as Trejo dives to the 34. Larry Foote and Will Boughton make the stop for Pittsburgh. But again, Harrington hustles to the line.
Trejo's going with one sock. He's got a sock foot, a shoe foot and a sock foot.
Shoe foot and a sock foot. Harrington's going the other way. Throws out there. Intended for Pierre Brown. Incomplete. That'll stop the clock with 1:06 to go.
Did a good job in pass protection there. Right there, shoe foot, sock foot. See, he did a good job. That's that new turf. See, you can play in socks or cleats, whatever you choose.
Did anybody
He
find
couldn't
his
make
shoe?
his mind up.
I guess they found it. Whatever works, whatever gives you traction, whatever allows you to cut and move.
Got to be able to midstream adjust.
1:06 to play. Lions down 12. Harrington again to throw on 1st down, looking for Drummond. Drummond's got it. Another 1st down for Detroit as he goes out of bounds and stops the clock at the 21. 1:01 to play. So who knows? The Lions can quickly add something here, and then they'll have to go for the onside kick. First and 10 now. Drummond to the near side, Mitchell to the far. Pittsburgh coming on a blitz. Harrington throws. intended out there for Chris Ryan, and he got drilled by James Harrison.
And James Harrison took a little shot himself. Now, that's the second time that Joey's left that guy hang out to dry, and what he has to do is recognize when Pittsburgh blitzes, they're coming over for that check down route with the fullback out of the backfield. He's either got to throw that away or throw it behind his guy so he doesn't leave him hanging out to dry right there. Bam! Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier.
Chris Ryan, a rookie out of Penn. Injury timeout down on the field as James Harrison came up a little loopy after that hit. As you said, he may have taken the worst of that. He's helped off the field to the sidelines.
James, you don't want a running back to knock you out, kid.
Well, our National City Player of the Game, Luther Ellis. Did a terrific job for the Lions today. 2 tackles, 1 caused fumble, 2 quarterback hurries. Luther Ellis, our player of the game.
Yeah, for limited time, those are great stats. And not only was he put pressure on a quarterback, was there close to sacks, causing fumbles, and creating havoc and allowing other people to make plays. He's of vital importance to the success of this defense because he's inside, demands a lot of double teams, helps linebackers, helps outside pass rushers.
Second down, 10 now. Harrington under pressure, loses the football. It is loose. Big pile. Looked like the Lions were able to come up with it, but Joey Harrington was feeling all sorts of pressure right there. Eric Totten coming after him, along with a couple of his Steeler buddies. And the clock continues to tick there. 39, 38, 37.
Steelers got to fall on it. You don't want to try to pick it up with 2 minutes to go.
And the officials blow that play dead. Come over and tell us what it's all about. Please tell me they're not going to check for the spot. They're not going to check for the spot at this point, are they?
I think they're going to see if he threw the ball. It's an incomplete pass. Could be that Brady rule. Get a look at our first Brady rule.
That might be equally as unimportant at this point.
Yes, gives those guys practice.
I guess so. And remember, in the last 2 minutes, that call comes from upstairs. So there's an official checking things out in the booth, and he calls down and tells them to take another look.
We'll see if his arm is forward progress. That's a it almost looked like he kind of dumped it, but
I don't determine if the play was a forward pass or a fumble.
I think the question there would be intent. Didn't look like he was intending to throw the ball. Looked kind of like that was just the motion of his arm as he was getting hit.
What he was trying to do was lift the ball over the defender. Again, they have trouble picking that blitz up. Yeah, he's just trying to get it out of the way. The helmet forces the ball and the arm forward, almost making it look like a throwing motion, but it's not because the helmet hit the elbow, forcing the ball out. He was trying to lift the ball up over the shoulder of the defender. Got connected. They haven't picked that blitz up all day. Tottenham's making a living. Might make the team on that blitz.
So if it holds, it'll be 3rd down and 22 for the Lions. From the Pittsburgh 33.
I'll tell you what makes me nervous. When I see 39's helmet hitting right there on that arm. Ooh. I mean, that's a lot of money in that arm.
It's a $36 million
arm. Yeah, $36 million arm, right? Ah, see that right there. Man, that's 36 mil.
36 million bucks makes Steve Austin sound like a biker.
Good job, Joey. Throw him off. Attaboy.
34-22, Pittsburgh in the lead. What they're trying to figure out with this review is whether or not that was an incomplete pass or if, in fact, it was, as originally called, a fumble.
I think, again, the helmet causes the arm to come forward, making it look like an incomplete pass, but definitely he wasn't trying to throw the football because his eyes were nowhere near downfield.
Joey Harrington, by the way, on this drive, assuming that's not an incompletion, 3 out of 3 for 33 yards. As you mentioned, getting some work in the 2-minute drill. And apparently they're taking a good long look at this. I'm all for instituting a replay time rule during the preseason.
I agree with you. They can do it in their officials meeting on Wednesday.
Here we go. We have a decision.
See Jason down there working. The guy always works, man. Always trying to get better. That's why he's been in this league and he's been as successful as he has been. Number 4.
After review, play is ruled as a forward pass and incomplete.
Wow, okay.
That makes it 3rd down on the 21-yard line. Please reset the game clock to 55 seconds.
So the Lions gained 12 yards on that exchange.
Yeah. And they're still not getting that right because that was a fumble.
It certainly looked like one.
Yeah.
Again, I go back to intent. It did not look like he was intending to throw the football.
And
it looked like he was just moving it to get out of the way.
And by the way, yeah, the helmet caused the arm to come forward, not a throwing motion.
I think we would be probably wrong to not point out the fact that Ron Winter showed his manners there when he said thank you. The referees are nice guys too.
Really? I never ran into any of them.
3rd down and 10 from the 21, 55 seconds to play. Harrington looks, throws, wants McKenzie. Did he get him? No, incomplete. McKenzie trying to make the diving grab, but the ball bounces away.
Again, you see the accuracy of Joey Harrington, and that's our 8th drop pass, the 2nd one for a touchdown today. But he threw the ball only where McKenzie could catch it. Now it's low and outside. And watch Joey here. Now this is a competitor for you. He's going to see where the weakness of the defense is, recognizing where he needs to put the ball, gets a good step into the ball, throws it where he needs to throw it. You see the reaction. Touchdown! No, oh, not so fast, Joey. Not so fast. See, we got 2 of those dropped today.
And this will bring up 4th down and 10 now. The Lions need to move the chains just to have a chance to stay alive. Harrington throws it out there. Incomplete, intended for Mitchell. No flags on the play, and the Lions will give it back to Pittsburgh, and that will do it here at Ford Field.
Yeah, they tried to come the other way with the same play, and Totten, the guy who's been putting pressure on blitzes, making plays all over the place, did a good job of covering, recognizing that they're coming the same play the other side, takes away the route.
So Pittsburgh will take the snap and no doubt take a knee here. Walk off this field with a 34-22 victory. So the Lions opener at Ford Field is not going to go their way. Charlie Batch takes the snap and down to one knee he goes. Now it's only a question of if they'll have to run one more play.
Well, you come back Thursday night and regroup. Again, you open up Ford Field.
Thursday night, Buffalo Bills will be here at Ford Field. Joey Harrington today, 13 out of 25 for 218 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. That should do it as Charlie Batch flips the ball away, and Pittsburgh wins this one by a score of 34-22. 10 seconds, 9, 8. It's all academic at this point. I want to remind you this telecast is a copyrighted presentation of the Detroit Lions in the NFL and is intended solely for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of the video or audio portions of this program without the express written consent of the Lions and the NFL is strictly prohibited. All right, Chris, impressions of this one. Let's talk about it. 34-22, the Lions come up short against Pittsburgh.
Well, I think you come out fast and you have Mike McMahon in the opening drive leading your team down to a score. You get a 10-0 lead, which is a good start, but what we have to do is learn how to finish.
All right, we'll talk about that when we come back, as we'll have more from Ford Field right after this. Stay with us. Back at Ford Field, the Lions fall to the Steelers today by a score of 34-22. For more on this one, let's go down to the field and Jennifer Hammond.
All right, thanks very much, Dan. And I'm standing by with Robert Porcher, the player of the game today. And Robert, I know you guys wanted to get a win in this one in front of the home fans, but just talk about the emotion of coming out in the new Ford Field today.
It was just great being here, being downtown. We were all kind of nervous about being here. It was a little different, just playing a game here in this facility. But after a couple of weeks, we'll feel right at home.
Do you guys feel like you continued something with the defensive line and the play of the defense? I know that there were some touchdowns you probably didn't want to give up, but you guys were able to get some good pressure up front.
Well, from a run defense standpoint, we did an excellent job. I thought we played really well. We wanted to stop the run. From the pass standpoint, no, I don't think as a team we accomplished what we wanted to do, but we can get those things worked out.
How important is it going into the regular season with one preseason game left to get a win next week?
It'll be important for morale, but the bottom line is if we can get everybody out of next week's games healthy. So if we can get guys healthy, I'll take health over the win anytime in the preseason.
What'd you think of the field and the fans here today?
I loved it. I came down a couple of days ago, and I'm still in awe. The fans, I hope they enjoy it too. It's a great place.
Great. Thanks very much, Robert Porcher. He is, of course, our player of the game. A couple of tackles and a sack for Robert Porcher. The Lions didn't get the victory, Dan, but they will come back on Thursday and try to get one against Buffalo before they head into the regular season. Let's send it back upstairs.
All right, Jen, thank you very much. Robert Porcher getting the job done today. Luther Ellis doing a terrific job as well on defense. Let me go back to what you talked about a couple of minutes ago, and that was Mike McMahon coming out very quickly for this offense. Despite all the talk about a quarterback controversy, Marty Morningwig says that Mike McMahon's his guy. Let's go with that for just a couple of minutes. Mike McMahon played a good football game today, and that's a good sign for this team.
Well, it is, and Mike made one bad decision, but other than that, he's got great field presence. He's in control of that huddle. The thing I love about Mike is that he's mentally tough. He can handle the pressure of being pushed by the #1 draft choice. He can handle the pressure of the fans and probably wanting Joe Harrington eventually, but he wants to have a chance to succeed, and he's not going to give up this fight easily, and it's going to be interesting to see how he performs in that first game on the road in Miami.
All right, let's take a look at some of the numbers from today, statistics from this football game. As I'm going to peek back over my head and see exactly what they were. See some first downs there. Lions 23, Pittsburgh 17. Total offense, the Lions 429 yards. Only 4 penalties today, so not a high number of penalties and a very good offensive output for this football team.
And it could have been better, Dan. We were in the red zone 4 times and didn't put any points on the board. Plus, we had 3 turnovers to Pittsburgh's 1 turnover. Anytime you have a -2 margin, your chances of losing a football game are about 75 to 80%. You need to protect the football, then strip the football or intercept the ball when you have that opportunity. So that's one thing we try to improve on next week, to get ready and get primed to go to Miami and try to basically, honestly, right now you have to look at the pull off the upset against the Dolphins down in Miami.
Miami is the opener 2 weeks from tomorrow. 1 preseason game left. Chris just alluded to it. That'll be this Thursday night, 8 o'clock against Buffalo. We will be right here to call it again for you. Right now, that's going to do it. For Chris Spielman, for Jennifer Hammond, and for Robert Bailey, I'm Dan Miller. Thanks for watching. We'll see you Thursday night. So long, everybody.